All right, and we are ready for that Majora's Mask run. Breagle, take it away.
Thank you. Hello. As Kate kindly said, I'm playing Majora's Mask, and I have the very great privilege of being joined by a Majora's Mask legend. Hello, Trev.
Hello, hello.
Yep. Do we have a file name?
Let me take a look for you. I mean, certainly we do. It's more a matter of what it is.
Very true. I saw some very interesting things people were bidding for.
Just barely, by literally $1. If we can do it, the winner of this is the cheat.
The cheat.
Oh yeah, that fits perfectly. That fits perfectly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to everyone who donated that. Apologies to Zelda and Ben Drown. You were so close, but the cheat has won.
Ooh, Ben
Yeah, thank
Brown
you,
is a classic.
everyone. I mean, we have a few minutes of intro to go through, so plenty of time for yapping, so I'm good to do a countdown if we're ready. Okay, then on go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. So the category I'm running is any percent glitchless. Any percent is straightforward enough. You just play the game. Time ends when we reach the final boss and deal the killing blow. And then the glitchless rule set, basically I'm just not allowed to use any of the banned tricks or techniques found on the list of banned tricks and techniques, which is very long. I'm not going to go through it all. But important thing to note is that even though, we're not doing a lot of very crazy, tricky stuff, we're also not doing a lot of intended stuff either. There's some very cool and creative ways that people have found to go very fast without bomb hovering or clipping out of bounds. And one of the more interesting aspects of glitchless is that we actually play through more of the game, especially the dungeons, because we're not allowed to just clip through the wall and into the loading zone. So the dungeons are very, very interesting. And the other thing that makes glitchless very interesting is that we have to rely on the in-game clock quite a lot, because there is a 3-day cycle in Majora's Mask. Certain in-game events happen at certain times, and we have to be at those places at those times. So a lot goes into the routing. We have to be very consistent to make sure that we're always at certain parts of the game at certain times. It's a very interesting category when you get into it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And like Breagle said, despite it being glitchless, it's a very, very different thing from an intended run. There will be sequence breaking, there will be plenty of unintended techniques that all fall under the umbrella of what the community has defined as glitchless. So you're still going to be seeing a very unique, very technical speed run. Especially in the dungeons, are definitely a big highlight of this run, and then a lot of the rest of the run, you're gonna be seeing a lot of. We'll go into what we're looking for as far as in-game time management is concerned, because like Breagle mentioned, there's a clock constantly running in Majora's Mask, and certain events happen at certain times. You need to actually be on the ball all the time in this run if you want things to line up. In particular, about an hour into the run, a little bit after, there's going to be something that's going to be dictating basically everything that Breagle does. So you can look forward to that as well.
I am.
Perhaps one of the most stressful parts of the run.
Yeah.
Especially in a marathon setting.
It's the kind of run where any small mistake leads to a much bigger time loss, because then you'll be late for whatever in-game time event that you're planning for.
No, that's exactly it. And there's gonna be if stuff like that happens, there's stuff that can be done, right? There can be rerouting and adjustments made, and that's sort of where experience in the category will help out a lot as well. We are through the opening cutscenes.
It's the hardest part of the game.
Oh yeah, no, every Majora's Mask runner is very familiar with the intro. We love it. I don't know if you
I guess
have
I'll
it.
just sit here.
Something we can relate with Wind Waker runners. I have an emote in my channel. It's called Intro Hype, and it just plays the entire Wind Waker intro in a little emote. This game is pretty similar. There's probably a bit more gameplay in this one, but it's still unfortunately pretty long. We're pretty familiar with it.
That's incredible. Having hosted for a Wind Waker run, I remember being prepped with there's gonna be a lot of sailing.
It's gonna be a lot of sailing, a lot of dialogue and intro at the beginning at outset. I don't think you get out at outset at like it's like 20. It's actually pretty similar to when First Cycle will end in this category. Now, with First Cycle, there's still stuff that Breagle is going to be doing to set up for the rest of the run, because what's happening right now is Skull Kid here is turning him forcibly into a Deku, like a curse, and he's not going to be able to escape that form until the end of the first 3-day cycle for the run. And during that time, he's very restricted on where he can go and what he can do, because a lot of NPCs in particular are hard-coded to react to Deku in ways that are much more restrictive, like guards won't let him out of Clock Town and so on. And while there are ways to escape Clock Town early in glitch categories, they are not allowed in glitchless. So that will dictate kind of the structure of First Cycle a little bit more. But then after the First Cycle, actually the rest of the speedrun is completed in one 3-day cycle after that. So there will only be 2 cycles to the entire run, notably. As far as like things that Breagle's going to want to be doing during First Cycle, obviously we're going to want to accelerate it as much as possible. And then also he's going to be looking to collect rupees. There's a couple ways you can go about this, but the way it's probably going to go down, since I think you didn't get rupees at the beginning, is you're going to be looking for that chest in the inn, right?
I'm doing like the regular rupee farming route, not the RNG route, but I'll be going to like 20 darling targets.
Got you. That makes sense as well. Yeah, big thing for rupees is while Deku can't use bombs, the bomb shop will allow Deku to buy a bomb bag early on, which is actually very nice. So he's gonna be looking to get rupees for that throughout the course of the run. He just needs 50. There's plenty of places to get that while he's moving around. And then he can buy the bomb bag and start the next cycle with it. Not have to get it then, and can just like immediately go into the run once as control past this Deku portion.
Yeah, we have to wait for midnight on the 3rd night anyway for the clock tower to open, so it's better to use the time doing something useful like getting the bomb bag.
First major trip coming up. This one's very important. Huge time save.
Ah, no! Reset.
Oh, it's over.
That's so 1.5 seconds down the drain.
Down the drain. Run's over already. There's a slight tech skip there you can do. If you side hop perfectly onto the flower, it will skip that little text box. If you hold A, you can just dip into the flower before the text even shows up and skip it, and that is perfectly allowed and glitchless. Not a big deal. Like, it's the sort of thing, though, it saves so little time that you don't do any setup for it, because any setup would make it not worth it. So it's the sort of thing you just go for and you hope to get it. You just kind of have to freeform it, because it's really not worth taking any extra time.
Yeah, most cutscene skips, or like a lot of cutscene skips, we're not allowed to do in glitchless, but if you can skip a cutscene just by avoiding the trigger, we're allowed to do that.
Yeah, this is another cutscene that, well, in glitch categories, there is a way to skip this one. In glitchless, unfortunately, you cannot. But it's not that long. We get.
Do you have a favorite unskippable cutscene, whether that's ironic or not?
Mine is the Zoromas cutscene, because it's perfect bathroom break timing.
I'll keep that in mind.
Might be my Might be mine as well, just because back in the day, especially, like, it's not as common nowadays, but, like, a lot of old school runners used to play memes during that cutscene as well. It was a very common meme spot, just because it was the
that's
longest
fun.
category, or the longest cutscene in a lot of runs.
All right, chat, get ready. When that one comes up, we're all gonna hydrate. We're all gonna take a little bio break. It's coming. I don't know, not for a while, but it's coming.
All right, and Briegel has now entered Clocktown, so officially the 3-day clock has appeared on screen. And for anyone, who may not know Majora's Mask, like the way it works right now is the clock is constantly running whenever Briegel has control of Link. And at the end of the 3rd day, 72 hours of in-game time, there is a giant moon in the sky. It will crash, and when that happens, the way it works functionally is it's literally like you reset the game. The game literally just loads your last save and undoes all your progress. So there is that constant factor hanging over him over the entire run. There are ways to reset it, to restart it, but actually, as of now, Briegel doesn't have a way to do that. And despite that, he's accelerating straight to the 3rd day. So as of right now, he actually only has 22 hours left before the moon crashes because he talked to Grandma, listened to her longest story, and has skipped straight to the 3rd day. But this clock is constantly running. And actually, something that not everyone knows is on first cycle, the clock actually runs faster than during the rest of normal gameplay. Simply because there's not as much for you to do during this part of the game, so they don't want to hold you in Clocktown too long, with how much you don't necessarily need to do. But even with that running faster, we still need to accelerate it even further. So while Grandma can only take us to 3rd day, he's now going to come over to the Scarecrow and dance with the Scarecrow all day. And the Scarecrow will accelerate him all the way to 3rd night. So he's literally accelerated to the last 12 hours before the moon crashes within his first minute in Clocktown, which is just the fastest way we can accelerate to the end of this particular portion of the cycle. And with that done, there's actually nothing further he can do to accelerate time anymore. So now it's just a matter of using the 6 hours before the clock tower opens at midnight in order to do whatever we can that's useful for the run. In this case, it's going to be getting rupees as well as getting magic. So that we're set up for the rest of the run as much as we can be with what we can get in Clocktown as long as we're restricted.
Yeah, if you've played the game before, you probably remember chasing the kids around Clocktown, getting the code from them, going to the observatory to get the moon's tear that you trade for access to the Deku Flower to get to the clock tower, but we won't be doing any of that, so we have quite a bit of spare time. We do need to get the magic. That is hard required to finish the game.
Yeah, and it's actually just hard required for you to get it escape first cycle, especially in a glitchless run. I mean, even in a glitched run, you'd be hard-pressed to skip the magic, although there are very, very elaborate ways to skip it. I think one involving transferring a powder keg between save files.
The things that are possible in this game is kind of wild.
Oh yeah, and the English version and the Japanese version are actually very different. And we can go into that, but he's playing on the Japanese version, which is mainly faster for text reasons. It does have differences in glitches and whatnot, but as far as glitchless is concerned, it's not too different. There are a few differences we will talk about, I think, when we get there. I think one that comes to mind immediately is going to be Pirate's Fortress. There might be other things I'm just not thinking of at this moment. But the Japanese version mainly just saves a lot of time on text. I think even within first cycle, it saves 20 to 30 seconds. I don't have the exact timing, but I remember those were the estimates thrown around last time I talked to somebody about it.
Yeah, we also have Power Crouch Stab, only in the Japanese version, which is technically a glitch, but impossible to ban, I believe, which is why we're allowed to do it.
Yeah, Power Crouch Stab is absolutely a glitch. Unfortunately, banning it would require just banning one of Link's moves entirely, because every crouch stab ever performed in Majora's Mask is a power crouch stab. So it's kind of unintuitive to ban. You just have to ban a normal part of Link's moveset. So while the move is glitched inherently, banning it doesn't really make any sense. is kind of the consensus that people came to. So basically, the way crouch stab works in Majora's Mask, and this is only actually in the Japanese version, they did fix it in the English version, but again, banning an entire version of Majora's Mask also doesn't make any sense. But the way crouch stab in Majora's Mask works is by default, crouch stab actually has a damage value of 0. It does nothing. And then what happens is it will always take on the damage value of the last move you used with your sword. So if you do a jump slash, which does double your normal sword damage, your crouch stab from then on has double, like a crouch stab, or a jump slash is rather damage value until you load the next area. And so we will be taking advantage of that.
Yeah, those were
Very
beautiful
good.
honey and darling targets. The
Yeah,
rupees were very lucky.
I didn't even get to comment on that. That was actually like insane luck. Didn't even have to get the clock tower rupees.
It ends up not really saving time, because even if you get the clock tower rupees, you're still going to be at the clock tower before it opens, but it's nice.
Yep. So it ends up getting
speaking
50
of rupees. Oh, go ahead, by all means.
No. Go ahead. It's fine.
I was just gonna say, chat, speaking of rupees, we have a small rupee shortage here on my end towards Trans Lifeline, and I would love to see some of those come in, especially because we have an incentive open for Tetris the Absolute Grandmaster 2+, which is such an incredible name on its own, but it is for adding death mode, which basically means more marathon. And it's Sunday. We really want to extend this as much as possible. We still need about $950 for that. So we've got a nice, good long run here. Time to get your rupees in, but I do kind of want to see them now, mostly because I want to hear about your favorite Zelda game, moments, or terrible childhood memory of playing a Zelda game and when you got super freaked out. Because I know if you played this game the first time you saw the moon, you went, ah!
Or the mass transformation cutscenes for sure.
Yes, Zelda games were like quite scary, I think.
All right, so the clock tower's finally open. It has reached midnight. We got to enjoy staring into Link's eyes as we waited for the door to open since Briegel. After buying the bomb bag, there's really nothing Briegel can do further to make use of first cycle time. So at that point, it's unfortunately just waiting for the door to open. It's definitely an unfortunate part of MM runs, not just this category, pretty much all of them, that there comes a point where you're just waiting on the door to open, and so you have to route around that, and if you run out of stuff to do, it's just, there's nothing you can do to really speed it up any further. But we're nearly at the end of first cycle, and at that point, that all goes out the window, because you have freedom to do whatever, and you at that point, it's just a matter of how fast you can be. But something I didn't get a chance to go into when it was happening, but in order to access the clock tower early without delivering the moon's tier, without doing any of the normal, like, intended gameplay stuff that would allow you to reach here, Briegel did something called a gainer, which is an allowed technique in Glitchless, which all it is like, when you backflip near a wall, and before you get too far away from the wall, you target the wall, which just holds you against the wall. And this is something that happens in normal gameplay, because the way you'll see it actually in a lot of setups and stuff in glitch categories as well, but when you target walls in the N64 Zeldas, it just sets you a set distance away from the wall. Like, the game sets you staring straight at the wall at a very specific distance from it. And so if you can target the wall before you back up too far from it, then it holds you against the wall. And that's essentially what a gainer is, and it allows you to reach the clock tower a little early, and because of that, we can use that time, instead of getting the moon's tier, getting the magic and getting the bomb bag. Much more efficient usage of the time because that technique exists. Although even if it didn't exist, you can actually do a curved backflip there as well. There's a lot of ways to reach the clock tower early.
Yeah, there's also like a C-up gainer, which I've never done, but I hear it exists.
Oh yeah? There's like a backflip pop-up you can do too if you backflip perfectly into like one of the corners of the platform. There's like 3 or 4 ways to get up.
Gainers are super important though. They save a huge amount of time over the course of the run. They're hard to do, until you like really get into the rhythm of it, because I think it's frame perfect. Well, it is frame perfect usually.
Usually, if you're in a corner, it's 2 frames.
Yeah.
But if there's a couple gainers that will not be in a corner in this run, and those ones are frame perfect. Oh, you're an Ocarina on C down person. I see.
It depends. It depends. It depends where I want my bombs later.
Is this a hot topic in the speedrunning community for this game? Is how you assign your buttons?
It is actually.
Yes.
It is actually it is a heavy topic of debate, especially in glitched categories. Bomb chews, because they're one of the most ubiquitous items that are always on a C button for important tricks. And so I have a friend who has an emote that's just bomb chews on Z, which is C down, and it's just because bomb chews on Z is perhaps the most unpopular position, but he likes it, so he made an emote just to bring attention to it.
Well, we gotta have an unhinged button command. It spices things up a little.
That friend is unhinged, so it's, it's like putting bomb chews on C down. That's terrible. Yeah, these are our last couple cutscenes before we get into the run proper. So Breagle has learned Song of Time, which for anyone who's not familiar with the game, oh no, not first try.
The Song of Healing is the hardest song, okay?
It's the second hardest song. We'll see how Sonata goes when you get there. I'm quite partial to failing Sonata every time I play it myself. Yeah,
There's
so
even,
song. There you go.
I was just going to say that we even have a emote in the MN community for failing Sonata. It's so common.
Yeah, that's the song that I've always struggled with, attempting to play it quickly. Elegy, no problem. New Way Bossa Nova, no problem. But Sonata, that one bothers me. But yeah, these are just the last couple cutscenes where we're finally back to playing normal Link, getting songs and a Deku Mask here. Deku Mask will allow him to become the Deku he was trapped to it as anytime he wants. And then Song of Time lets him reset the 3-day cycle whenever he wants, and it's actually the only way in the Japanese version to save at all. A lot of people who played the English version will probably be familiar with owl saves, which are a quick save where it deletes the save once you load it, but you can at least quick save. But actually, in the original Japanese version, there are no quick saves, no owl saves whatsoever. Song of Time is the only way to save the game. And so there will be long stretches of time in this run where there's just no save, because you can't just pause the game and save. You have to play it out, and with in-game time being as important it is you don't want to reset back to the first day whenever you do anything, because it's going to mess with the routing and slow things down, which is why it's actually quite impressive that this run is done just from this point on without ever resetting time ever again.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. If everything goes according to plan. It is a marathon. I don't want to make promises we can't keep, but I believe in you.
Marathons are great. You always inevitably see some sort of tech that you've never even seen before, and you went, oh, I didn't know that happened in this game.
It's the classic marathon line, that's never happened before.
Mm-hmm. We just wait for it. When we've got 2.5 more hours of this, there's a high chance we will see something strange.
Alright, so here we are. Finally the run begins proper. This is a last line of dialogue here. And so at this point, I don't want to say we're entirely free of cutscenes, but because we still have at least one more, but stuff is going to begin happening, and they're going to become more spread out through the run. We're through intro hype. Intro is over, for the most part. But yeah, because Breagle already has Bomb Bag, he's actually just going to leave Clocktown immediately, so that there is at least that aspect where, because we're able to maximize time in first cycle, we don't have to spend any extra time in Clocktown once we actually gain control, and we can immediately begin making progress to the first dungeon of the game. So just straight into Termina Field.
I would really like a bomb drop here, because it saves a good 20 plus seconds, but it's not guaranteed. Every bush has, I think, a 1 in 8 chance of dropping a bomb.
I believe that's correct. I believe from an entire set of bushes in Termina Field, you have like a slightly over 50% chance of getting one bomb if you break every single one.
I'm gonna go to the other one.
Yep, one more chance. That's still fast here. After this set of bushes, it's not quite as fast. Still keep looking.
2.
Did you get 2?
I got 2.
Oh my god! All right, you were at least blessed.
Marathon luck, baby.
We have quite a long cutscene here, so if there are any announcements to make.
Yeah, well, I do want to remind everyone about the Tetris incentive. Like I said, we need about $950 more or rupees, if you will, to meet that one. It is a really cool incentive. You have infinite gravity, crazy speed, a single time requirement at the first half, and then the game pushes you for 500 levels here. So this is, if you want to see Tetris done in perhaps one of the most extreme fashions, please get those donations in for that. I would be happy to read them here. We are supporting Trans Lifeline. It's an incredible cause. So, like I said, and I am as unhinged as this game, or as unhinged as assigning a button to somewhere you would not expect. So, make me read something a little funky. I'll do it. It's Zelda, baby. Alternatively, if you're not awake enough yet to think of the funky stuff, tell me, because this is something I used to do with like every video game I played growing up. If you were in the Zelda universe, doesn't have to be Majora's Mask, where would you most want to live?
Vermani Ranch is kind of cozy.
I feel like I'd be avoiding Termina in general, just, because of
this may not be we may expand our horizons past this game, just, for the reasons we have seen thus far, but...
Yeah, there are a lot of problems with almost every incarnation of Hyrule, actually, in terms of...
Hyrule is a bit fraught. See, this is... I've always been, always, I say, in the last 10 years, I've been partial to Rito Village, because it seems way more chill than, like, almost everywhere else I've ever seen in a Zelda game.
Honestly, not a bad choice.
Now we get to play the game for a little bit.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like I said before, the cutscenes were almost over, but now the cutscenes are primarily over, like, for quite a while now. So now Regal will actually be having control more often than he does not. And so, big thing right now is clock. The time is moving, and there is... I'd say as far as the in-game clock is concerned in this run, the first day is the most important, where the most is going on, especially at night. But the big in-game time event we're working up to right now is actually Breagle needs to beat an entire dungeon, enter another one, get a song, do all these things before night one, actually. Not even the end of day one, before night happens. Also, that he can reach Milk Road and have Epona before night occurs. And so what you're going to see is he's already actually played the inverted Song of Time, which slows down the clock to 1/3 of its normal speed. And that's going to give him a lot more time to do everything he needs to do within this first day. Even then, it's still, like, quite important that he plays well. It's still, like, tight.
I played it a little bit earlier than I normally would, just to play it safe, because I don't want to, I can't reset. But it's still, there's a lot that can go wrong. There's, like, we have Big Auto Skip coming up soon. We have Goron Race. Stalactite RNG.
Yep. Stalactite. Hopefully you don't get stalactited in Marathon. That would be unfortunate, because the goat fight strat is pretty cool, but... Yeah, well, probably one of the hardest tricks and sequence breaks of the entire run is coming up. I wasn't sure if you were going to be doing Big Octo Skip in a Marathon, but I think it's Marathon safe. It's just a frustrating trick on PB attempts. Yeah, normally what you would do here, the normal progression of the swamp section here, is you got to get this bottle and use the red potion that you get given here to save the witch. But unfortunately, if Breagle's doing Octo Skip, then The witch is going to be abandoned this run. She will lie in those woods waiting to be saved for the entire run, unfortunately.
Yeah, we kind of just scanned them for a bottle.
Well, if I can jump in real quick, I see we just got a wonderful raid from the RPG Limit Break group. How are we doing, friends? Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome in. We are just kicking off this Majora's Mask speedrun, and if you're a little if you haven't been to Fastest Furs yet this weekend, I want to let you know this is Fastest Furs Fall Fest 2025 in support of Trans Lifeline. All weekend long, we are raising money for them. I see someone popped the exclamation point donate in chat. You can also visit translifeline.org if you want more info about this incredible cause, but we are so happy to have you. I hope you'll stick around. This is a super fun run, and we are just getting started, and we have much more marathon to go.
Oh yeah, and here, yeah, actually perfect timing. Here it is. This is a big octo skip. It's very precise. We're gonna see him pop up here if he gets it. He gets on Deku Mask. That's exactly what you're looking for. That's perfect. So what's gonna happen is he's gonna be able to void here in the water, which gives him a bit of invulnerability time where the big octo can't get him, allowing him to walk past it, get to this one, and get spit out on the other side, skipping the boat ride entirely, meaning we will be leaving the witch behind. That is probably, I know it doesn't look like much, that's one of the hardest tricks in the run, in my opinion.
I'm very happy with how that went.
Yes, first try, the faster version as well. Absolutely, like, exactly what you want, I'm sure. And it's like, it's hard to explain because it doesn't look like it, how precise that trick is. It's very, very obnoxious to get the pop-up and, like, be able to jump off the lily pad with the proper angle. Because the lily pads that he was standing on that he jumped from are swaying side to side randomly. They're not even consistent. They just pick random directions, and like depending on the luck you get from the lily pads, it can just be way harder as a result. So, all right. Oh, another thing. He's coming into Deku Palace now to get these magic beans because we're gonna need them later. And notably, Deku Palace actually has a different layout in the Japanese version of Majora's Mask than the English one. They made it a lot simpler for the English release. Like, there's less grottos, there's, like, things, it's a lot easier to access things. Like, this grotto is actually on the right side of the room he's coming up to now, instead of up here on this platform, but he was able to access it quickly with a gainer, so it doesn't make a big difference. And then he's going to use another gainer to access this upper grotto, which actually connects the two sides of Deku Palace, only, again, in the Japanese version. Like, this grotto he's coming out of right now does not exist in the Western release of the game. So making use of that to actually speed up Palace traversal quite a bit. And then skipping all of Palace movement as well by backflipping onto the door frame so that you can just jump straight to this final platform, use the Deku Flower, and skip straight to the end of Palace. Like we said, like, this may be a glitchless run, but like, sequence breaks and skips and whatnot, as long as they're within the rule set, are perfectly allowed. Oh no!
I didn't think I made it, but I did. Oh, tragic.
You gotta believe in yourself. You just wanted to show it again, right? I was like,
yeah, exactly.
I was my fault. I was slow in explaining it, so we're just gonna do the backflip on the door frame once again. Gonna head over, fly over, and we're gonna have to wait on the platforms or cycle here for a second. But
there's a lot going on in Deku Palace. It's like, there's just way too much just to talk about. It goes by so quickly too.
Yeah. No, when everything goes perfectly, it's like a 2-minute segment, and it's really fast. So now we get to see Breagle do his best attempt at Sonata. So no pressure. 'Cause I may have. You can show me up because I definitely can't play it first try.
No, I'm just gonna take my time. Take like 2 seconds per note.
Do you know the scale? Like, I have a friend who recently I watched do a casual playthrough of OT, and they had a Scarecrow song. And Scarecrow song is like a song that you can store in both this game and in Ocarina of Time, where like it just copies your notes exactly how you play them and remembers them. And he had a song where he like walked away for a bit. So every time he played it, like there was just like this minute-long gap where I thought, like, the first time I saw it, I thought the game was soft lock.
That's so funny.
First try Sonata, though. Most impressive part of the run so far. Way more impressive than Big Octo Skip.
It's all downhill from here.
So that's... Oh, well, actually, no, that's not all we came to Deku Palace for, because we also got the Magic Beans. But those Magic Beans will not be coming into play in this run for over an hour, so don't worry about them for now. Again, a quick jump here. It's going to result in a little pop-up where it skips the climbing animation just due to... I've actually never had that explained to me, how that pop-up animation works. I assume it's just due to, like, it does that... Because, like, it's supposed to be climbable as far as I know, but, like, it struggles with, the angle to, like, play the proper climbing animation there. I really don't know actually how that works.
Yeah, I don't know either. Something about the game not liking Link being in that position and just pushing him up.
Yeah. You actually, and yeah, you did the same thing in Deku Palace going up to the platform as well. Yeah. Yet another song. First try. This one's Song of Soaring. It's going to let Breagle soar to any owl statue he's hit in the past. So once he's been to a region of the map that has one, he can always get back quickly, and this is very, very useful in every category of MM. It's one of the main methods of traversal. So this
That
is
will take
definitely
me back
not one you want
to
to skip.
any owl statue that I remember to hit. Unfortunately. I think everyone's
Really?
forgotten to hit Ikana owl statue at one point.
Oh no, that's an unfortunate one too.
Am I okay to jump in with a few donations here?
Absolutely.
All right, wonderful. We have $20 from Queedy, who says, "You can do it, Brie. Just do to me what you did after gifting me Street Fighter 4. I would love to know the backstory there. But
Thank you,
first,
Queenie.
we also have $5 coming in from Beardmaster, who says, "Good luck, gamer." And those are both going towards the Tetris Grandmaster incentive. We are coming up on a couple of good numbers for that. And as we work towards that incentive, I want to let you all know that it's lunchtime for me. And I know that chat the other day had some strong opinions about fast food and where to go and what to get. So I want to keep that going. I would love to see your opinions come in via donations, of course. And I want to make it a little bit of a competition. I want you to help me choose what I'm going to get for lunch. So I'm not joking when I say this. We are going to keep track of which fast food chain is winning. I'm on the West Coast, so bear in mind that does mean In-N-Out is an option. Tell me your order. Ideally, donate the amount that your order typically is, and let's see who wins. Let's have a little friendly fight here.
Oh, I did not get the red potion drink. There's a frame perfect trick there. You can overlap the cutscene with drinking the red potion, and it saves like half a second or so.
Yeah, like before most cutscenes initiate in Majora's Mask, it actually takes 2 frames. This is the basis of a lot of cutscene skips that are they're not allowed in this category, so you won't see them, but it also lets you perform almost any action within that first frame before it takes effect in the second. And so that's where Regal wanted to drink the red potion. It's just a minor time save. That means like the bottle's already free, because we don't actually need the potion. We just want the bottle. Bottles are actually very, very important in this category, because without glitches, you can't do bottle dupes. And so you actually, like, every bottle you can get quickly is valuable for a section later on in the run, where you need a lot of them in one area. It would be nice if there were 4 fast bottles, but unfortunately there are really not, so this run will be getting 3. He gets to do the drink as Deku, who has the fastest drinking animation of any form of Link in this game. So even though he didn't get the skip, you got to see how fast Deku just drinks the red potion.
Just pours it straight down.
Yeah, this is the first dungeon of the run. This is Woodfall Temple. It's probably the simplest dungeon in Majora's Mask. It doesn't have like a lot going on in terms of mechanics, but we're not even actually going to finish this dungeon this first trick, unless you're doing the route that does that. There is a slightly alternate route that beats Woodfall, on the first trip, but I believe the main route does not. You're just here for bow, because once you have bow, it like frees everything, like most of the other regions of the map. Here we go. This is actually very precise movement here along these planks here with the stick. Ooh, that is an unfortunate.
Okay, I didn't lose the stick though. I didn't lose the stick.
Yeah, can go for it again. Can go for it again. Yeah. Normally you're supposed to move that block in the center of the room, but what you're seeing Breagle attempt here is a movement around the edge of the room that dodges moving the block to save a little bit of time. But it very much uses the entirety of the stick's timer, so he just barely makes it to this torch before it burns up. And then when you go through a torch in this game, it resets the stick's timer, so then he can keep going. He's going to go up the stairs, light this torch, which will reset it again, and that will make it to the spider web. And he's going to pull out his sword right as he enters the stairs, which avoids the slash and saves a little bit of time. And also saves the stick, most importantly, because he's going to need it again in this room. But if he had the stick out as he went up the stairs, he would lose it, so that's a small little optimization there. There's actually another way to do that here. There's 2 chances to do it. Oh, you did it in the cutscene. I didn't even know that one. Never mind, there's 3. And we're going to see a sword recoil here where he just slashes the wall.
Absolutely fine.
Back to the pillar, standing on the edge. Just wanted to look scary for the audience.
That was a little bit scary.
Doing that little sword recoil down the hole and like it lands you on the second level of this lower floor without having to do one room, whereas normally you just have to do one more room and then you could go down the stairs normally. And then here's our first use of power crouch tab, which was mentioned earlier. Breagle did a stick jump slash, which stores the damage from that. And notably, the stick is stronger than your normal base sword. Base sword has a damage value of 1. Deku stick, for some reason, has a damage value of 2. So a jump slash has a damage value of 4. Which ends up killing the Dynalphos in 1 hit. Breagle has gotten what he's came to Woodfall for mostly, but while he's on this side of the temple, before he leaves, there is one more thing he's going to do. He is going to go get the boss key here, so he's raising the platform with the bow he got, and he's actually going to get that before he leaves, which will set him up for a really, really fast end of Woodfall later.
My health is a little bit lower than I'd like it for this fight, but it should be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You ran into him right there. You gotta be careful.
Yeah. I may have messed up what buttons I usually have my equips on there.
It's okay. Chat's way ahead of you. They're roasting your bow and C down right now.
How dare you?
Oh man, your health's really low now.
Yeah.
It's okay. One more hit. One more hit. Just gonna play it safe. Drop the bomb and back away.
Dang.
Okay. Everything's fine. Nice.
Yeah,
nice
not
shot.
the best Gecko fight, but yeah, at least we finished strong.
Not dying is a win. Yep.
May I know. May I jump in with a donation here?
Really quick, actually. There will be a moment in just a sec, because you dropped a bomb.
Yeah.
You scared me. That bomb's a little dangerously close there, Breagle.
Yeah, these wrong buttons are messing me up, but we're fine. I have plenty of bombs, so... Wait.
He got you through the door.
No!
It's over.
Well,
it's
anyway.
over.
Yeah. Woodfall's a little bit too hard right now. I'll just come back later.
It's unfortunate. Alright, so that entire time, Breagle was setting up an intentional death warp. And so that was all very deliberate. And what Breagle did there was, when he dropped the bomb right before he opened the chest, he also, because the chest music was still playing, there's like a jingle you get whenever you get a new item. If that's playing when you die, it also skips the death jingle, and you get a faster death. So... That was the whole point of setting up all that damage so that he was ready to die to that bomb at the end of the dungeon and leave with bow and boss key. And now,
Yeah, it's
now
just
we're
the
done.
fastest way to get out of the dungeon.
Yeah.
But yeah, now
now
there's like traveling and not doing much. So if, any announcements, now is like a really good time.
Yes, I would love to shout out Adalor, who donated $100 towards the Tetris Grandmaster incentive. Adalor says, Tetris is one of my all-time favorite game series, and high-level TGM is exceptionally impressive. Y'all want to see this extra mode? Seriously, let's get it added in the name of trans rights. Absolutely, Adalor. We are making good progress towards that. Over 15% of the way there. Need about $850 more for that incentive, so I know we can do that. And like I said, I am hungry. And as of yet, no one has told me where to eat. So get the food donations in, and also if you can furryfy them a little bit, puns here, puns are welcome in this house. So we're not going to Taco Bell. We're going to Paco Bell. We're not going to Burger King. We're going to Burger King. Let me know your thoughts, and please let me eat. I need to eat, chat, please. It's all for trans rights. It's a good cause, or good pause even.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so this is the second region of the game. This is Mountain Village. Never actually finished the dungeon, remember, of the first region, but as long as you have bow, you can access this area normally. And this is actually going to be the first region of the map that Briegel actually clears. Just because going back to Woodfall later with items from the other regions of the map will make the rest of that dungeon a little bit faster, as well as it helps set up in-game time, at least in older versions of the route. It's less so now, I think. It's less important for that region to do that, but it still ends up working out pretty nicely. But first thing he's going to do is going to head over here and do get Lens of Truth, which is required in order to get the fastest method of travel in Majora's Mask, and very, very nice for glitchless speedruns. He's going to end up... Normally what you do here is there's invisible platforms here, and the owl will actually guide you by dropping feathers on them. But if you just memorize where they are, like Briegel here, you can actually just cross them without that and skip the cutscene and waiting on the owl. So that was very good. And those platforms actually have a different configuration depending on what day you're here as well. Day 2 and Day 3 have much different platform layouts as well, so... For this category, you only need to know the Day 1 platform layout, but that is something to note, that there's a lot of things in this game that change depending on, again, the in-game time. I'm just gonna grab Lens, and then immediately gonna make use of it, heading straight to get his, Goron mask.
Yeah, if you played the game casually, you probably followed the Ghost of Darmani all the way here, but you actually can just head straight here. You don't need to follow him anywhere.
And while you can climb this ladder without Lens, which would totally be allowed, unfortunately Lens is still not skippable, because at the top, unless you use Lens to at least look at the Ghost of Darmani briefly, you can't actually initiate the cutscene that gives you Goron Mask. So it unfortunately makes Lens not skippable in this category, or really any category that needs to get Goron Mask. And this category definitely wants to get Goron Mask, just because it is by far the fastest method of travel, normal travel throughout the game. Yeah, you're gonna see him turn on Lens briefly. You're not even really gonna see Darmani on screen for that long, but he just had Lens on, saw it briefly, play Song of Healing and collect our song. And this mask, like I said, I've been hyping it up as like the fastest method of travel. At its top speed, if anyone's familiar with glitch speedruns of either Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, it's actually the same speed as a Hess, which is a pretty famous method of movement throughout these games.
That's incredible.
So we just have the Hess mask in Majora's Mask. even in glitch categories, it makes Hesses kind of redundant once you have them. Like, I think in the normal 100% glitch speedrun, you do a couple Hesses before you get Goron Mask, and then they're almost like irrelevant after that.
Why is he called Michael? What does chat mean?
It's just Michael. That's what he likes to go by. And
Oh, all
we
right.
respect that.
That's just his name. Why? Well, it's great to see him.
It's news to me. I'm not up to date on the new lore. Isn't the Goron that has a Dongaro mask? Isn't that Hugo?
Oh yeah, Hungry Goron.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
I know everyone in the random community calls him Hugo.
Speaking of Hugo, do you have a favorite either strat name or glitch name or thing like that where you find it really endearing or silly?
Oh, I probably do. I don't know if I could think of it.
This is a test!
In the moment, I know.
If you can't think of anything, just say Hugo. It's right there.
Yeah, passing by Hugo right now. Everyone say hi and bye to Hugo. Wasn't really on the screen. Do you, Breagle? Do you have a favorite strat?
I'm not sure.
It's like hard to think of in the moment, I feel like.
It
I
is.
definitely do. Especially since I've been playing MM for so long. It's absolutely hard to think of in the moment.
They're just hardwired in your brain.
Yeah. I don't I know a funny strat that I like to show off sometimes is there's a thing you can do with like the dog in Clocktown where like you let him you do this like thing to store picking him up into water, and then when you throw him he flies.
Wait, that's so cool.
That's always a fun showcase even if it isn't that useful.
It does not need to be useful to be worthwhile. That is I feel like he flies. That's so cool. I have to find a VOD of this or something. I need to see this in action.
We could probably, I don't know. If we had time, we could show it off, maybe. I don't know.
I listen. If we can get a couple of donations for the flying, I think we could potentially find a way to squeeze it in. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, first of all, do you know how to do it, Briegel? I could walk you through it.
I don't, but
spot.
Trev is here, so I can ask like a better walkthrough person.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. If you donate, we'll just donate to give him wings. It'll be like a supplemental thing.
I promise you can do it. It's really easy. Have you done a super slide before? Because it's easier than that and has similar inputs.
Yeah, I've done some NMG.
Okay. Yeah, you could do it. I won't force you to, though. That's just like a funny thing I thought of.
I've been thinking about it. I think I have like two favorite strats in this run, which are Elegy Block Skip, just because it's very swag looking, and Iceless and GBT, which is going to be like a while from now, though.
Oh, yeah. Anything in GBT, like Great Bay Temple is easily the most technical and probably best to watch dungeon of this run. Like that's going to be a section of the run to look forward to.
Yeah, it's the most fun and most heartbreaking at the same time.
A lot of runs die there because it is the most difficult part of the run for sure. Yeah. Just going through the whole process here of getting Goron Lullaby. From the grave where he got Goron Mask, he picked up some hot spring water, which has a 1-minute timer before it cools into regular spring water. And instead of using it immediately, it's actually fastest to then go talk to the baby Goron, because you have to talk to the baby Goron first in order to actually get the ability to learn the song from the Elder Goron. And so with the hot spring water timer going, he goes and talks to the baby Goron, then he goes to the Elder, and if he does all that movement properly, then you have about 5 to 10 seconds left before the hot spring water would cool. So it's a little tight, but not really. It's very, very doable if your movement is good, and Briegel's movement is definitely good. So, no worries there.
Yeah, a bit of practice is not too bad. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Not the lullaby. Okay, I think I'm at like 3 out of 5 songs first try.
I don't know. I mean, Kate was talking at the time, but I did see your sonata to lift the temple.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count. I wasn't learning the song, so you know.
Okay.
Oh, I should have donated like $5 every time I failed the song, but then I'd go bankrupt.
No, that's good. That's good. It'll feed me.
But yeah, this is the last little bit of setup necessary before being able to access the next dungeon. So right after this, he's actually going to be able to soar away and just immediately head to Snowhead Temple, which will be the first dungeon in this run that actually gets completed. And while it's not nearly as, like, as hype as Great Bay Temple, as much as I'm hyping that one up, Snowhead Temple is actually, like, all the dungeons in this run are pretty technical. Woodfall Temple probably the least, but, like, the dungeons in this run are all very cool, and they use a lot of strats that you don't see in your typical glitched speedruns of this game as well. Well, now you have to do the hardest movement in the run, is not falling somehow in this path.
Yeah, Goron movement in general is kind of terrifying. It's like driving a car with no brakes.
Yeah,
Just
as
so
fast
fast.
as this mask is, like, you'll see a lot of casual players default to, like, using the bunny hood instead, just because the Goron is so unwieldy. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of game time, but you can actually have, like, really good control over him with enough practice. In fact, right here, coming up, I don't know if you're gonna go for it, Briegel, because right here, typically, you're gonna go for it?
Yeah, I mean, I have to, right?
Yeah.
It's
So
too
right
embarrassing to
here...
walk.
So right here, Briegel's gonna attempt to do one Goron spike roll all the way up to the dungeon entrance without stopping. And it saves a lot of time, but if you fall, it teleports you all the way back to where he's standing right now if you go out of bounds. So it can lose as much as 30 seconds, I think, in like runs where I've fallen off, so you really don't want to. So this is just going to be an attempt at one uninterrupted... Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, perfect, perfect.
That doesn't lose 30 seconds, all right? That was just okay. You're fine. You don't... It's just... You were getting it out of the way early, so now you're not going to fall.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is quite tricky here, because coming up, the path is about to get very thin, and you even go airborne and can't turn at certain points if you're not facing the right angle already. Like right here, you saw him like bounce quite briefly. He actually loses control of the Goron in that moment, so it's trickier than it looks. But that was really good. That was nice. After the initial one, that was flawless.
Yeah, I was getting the one fall out of the way, so... If you're gonna fall, better do it right there.
Exactly. Alright, so Snowhead Temple is like a temple that has like a gimmick of like there's a main room that you're about to see once he goes through this next door, where there's like a pillar that rises up normally in the center of the dungeon, and you knock out like sections of it. Oh no! You went airborne again. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You're gonna see him actually use Deku here. He's just gonna touch the lava and it lights Deku on fire and voids him back to the beginning of the room. So we're just lighting Deku on fire to travel back quickly. Normal things. But yeah, in this room right here, there's normally a giant pillar that rises up the center, and you knock sections out of it to lower it and access like different parts of the temple. Even in glitchless, that's never going to happen. That pillar's never going up. The entire dungeon is being beaten without raising that pillar, just ignoring the dungeon's main gimmick. And in order to do so, there will be a lot of tricky movement and whatnot. So that's something to look forward to here. But yeah, first step is making it to fire arrows, which are the main dungeon item and are necessary to beat the dungeon in the game. So we're going to grab a small key here. And pull out a bomb, and then start a sequence of damage boosts. Quite tricky, some of them. That one's semi-precise. There could just be a couple of them. That one is pretty precise. And then I think the other one is even more precise. Just gonna head up the stairs. Already, because of that damage boost, have skipped going around. Like, normally that key he got, you have to use at a different room, but because he did the damage boost, that key, he gets to hold it in his inventory and get a second key. And there are 3 keys in the dungeon, you normally need all 3, but by skipping the first key door, you can use the first 2 keys on the last 2 key doors and skip 1 key entirely.
Oh, that was a little bit early.
Yeah, that's the very precise damage boost. I think that one's only 2 or 3 frames. I've never frame counted it, but especially with the enemies, they make it quite tricky because you have to like move in the right way and get the frame.
Uh-oh. The problem now is even if I make it, my health is going to be a little bit problematic.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Do I go for the roll or do I go straight across?
The roll with crit health is pretty tricky. It might be safer to go straight across here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, MM has something unfortunate called crit health cam, where when you have low enough health that your heart, like you have the beeping noise like this, the camera constantly tries to spin on you to get like a cinematic view of Link panting. It's why you see like him wobbling a lot more in his movement all of a sudden, because he's fighting the camera trying to spin on him, and so it's all of a sudden it's just a lot harder to move straight. So that's why he's gonna pick up the health right away. So that way that's not gonna be an issue going forward. It's much less a concern of dying and much more just it ruins your movement immediately to have crit health. It's very hard to fight it. Nice. Nice. Okay. So Wizrobe was trying to initiate the second phase of the fight there, and in order to do that, he starts a cutscene, but he's actually vulnerable for 1 frame before he initiates the cutscene, and if you punch him twice while he's trying to initiate it, he just never does it. And he always goes to the same position in order to attempt to initiate it, so as long as your timing's good, you can always interrupt it. And that'll get him the fire arrows, which opens up the rest of the dungeon. Here is a diagonal roll. Again, this is the kind of trick you can do to skip the pillar, and it saves a little bit of time, although it's not necessary because you can roll around the slower way. But that's a trick he actually wanted to do earlier as well, but because of the crit health, he didn't do it.
Yeah, it's very sketchy with crit wiggle. You kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you fall, it can be very bad if you only have 1 heart.
Because the fall can take away 1 heart unless you land in, like, lava. Funnily enough, if you land in lava, the lava damage prioritizes over the fall damage, and you don't die. Because the lava deals less damage than the fall.
This is so cool, though. This is what I love about older games, and I hate calling Majora's Mask an older game because it makes me feel old. But I love that there are so many contingencies because people know these games so in and out, where it's like there's a branching path for everything, and I love the tech that comes about because of it.
Yep, and here's actually one of the tricks to skip the pillar. You saw him pull a bomb and throw it down. It blows up the snowball because of, like, just Briegel having good timing with the bomb. It blows up exactly when it's right next to that corridor, blows up a snowball, and then he can jump in. And that skips having to raise the pillar, which is the intended way to access that corridor, and lets him reach the top of the temple without ever raising the pillar. And that gets us access to our second Wizrobe fight, because this mini-boss is not overused in this game. They really like him. I think he's in this game 4 times?
5 I counted once.
It might be 5.
Yeah, because you have Secret Shrine, Ikana Castle,
and Inverted Stone
Tower Temple. Yeah.
Yep. Nice job on the cutscene skip again, by the way.
Thank you. I like that at some point in development they probably had 4 of them in the game and were like, we know what we need? Another Wizrobe.
We're really proud of this guy. There's 2 types though. There's Fire Wizrobe and Ice Wizrobe, and they're so different. Alright, wait. Same jump again into this corridor, this time from the other side. Throws the bomb down, it explodes the snowball, jump slash in. And that jump is the fastest way, really, to circumvent the pillar rising here. So very nice on both sides of it. That's really it for Snowhead. So that was like really clean overall. Like only a little struggle with the damage boost, but you recovered nicely, and then everything else was clean.
Yeah, I can't complain about that.
Am I okay to jump in with a donation here?
Yep.
Wonderful. We have $20 coming in from Queedy, who says, a luck buff for Michael race later. Get that gold. Thank you so much, Queedy. Thank you to everyone who has been donating. We are at $171 out of that 1,000 needed for Tetris Grandmaster. I am really hoping we get that because that is going to be such a cool showcase to watch that. So please keep getting those donations in. We're making our way there. We're making good progress. I know you can do it, chat. I know. I believe.
Alright, and this is the goat fight. Normally the way you do this fight is you'd put on Goron and you're supposed to chase him around the arena, dealing damage with the spikes that Goron does with a magic roll. But if you get at this corner in the right spot, which Bregal has just found, what you can do is you can actually shoot him around the corner while he's waiting to shoot lightning at you, but he doesn't see you yet, so he's just waiting to see you. But you see him, and you can actually just shoot him with arrows down the corridor until he's dead. And the only, like, intricacy of it, other than finding the right spot, because you do have to be on the right line where you can see him, but he can't see you, is if he doesn't see you for long enough, then he'll just, like, give up on waiting to shoot lightning at you and charge down the corridor anyway. That's like the failsafe. But you saw Bregal side hop back and forth to get him to shoot one lightning bolt at him, and that just resets the timer on Goat's charge timer. And then he just found the spot again and kept shooting. So as long as you keep resetting Goat by getting him to shoot once, he'll keep trying to shoot without charging. And you can just shoot arrows without him really having to chase him down. It's a lot faster. Did not get stalactited either, actually. Bregal mentioned that earlier in the run, if you want to talk about that.
There's like it's a pretty low chance, but there is a chance that stalactite will fall directly in your path, because that's one of the things that Goat starts doing when he has lower health. Stalactites will just start dropping from the ceiling, and one can land directly in the line that you need to shoot through, and then, you can't use that line anymore. You have to move out. He's going to be shooting at you. He might hit you. He might start running away. It's really messy, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep. Now, if you're unlucky enough to get that stalactite, the fight goes from, clean, easy fight as long as you get the position to jump out in front of him. You're both shooting each other. Hope you don't get hit before he dies. Thankfully, that did not happen, but the chances of it are decent. I've had plenty of runs where that just ruins that fight, and you lose quite a bit of time to it. Yeah, now we're seeing one of the cutscenes. There's 4 versions of this cutscene. You're going to see one after every dungeon. This one is the longest, where you learn the song now that you're going to need at the end of the game in order to call the giants to lift up the moon and stop it from crashing. Which will initiate the final sequence of the game later. You learn it now. And something a lot of people don't actually know is you learn the song now, and you're not supposed to use it until you've rescued all the giants, because they can't lift the moon without it. But there is actually a cutscene, a different version of it, that plays if you try it without all of them, where the ones that you do have attempt to lift the moon, and they fail and fall over and disappear.
Yeah, I found that out as a kid because I got stuck, and I was trying everything to progress in the game, including that. So I've seen that cutscene.
I actually did not know about that cutscene until I was like several years into speedrunning. That was something that was definitely unique for me. But yeah, now that Snowhead has been beaten, we do want to take a look at in-game time. I actually have not been paying attention to that, but you've been playing pretty well, so I'm assuming it's fine. But
I believe it's fine. Also, inverted early.
Yeah. So let me see what time we're at here. We're at 3:20ish in-game, so that's definitely fine. That's more than good enough. Because again, remember we were talking about, like, at the beginning of this cycle, he's going to need to beat a dungeon, enter another dungeon, do all this stuff, and make it to where he has Epona before the end of day 1. And he's definitely on track for that, because now all he needs to do to get Epona is unlock Powder Keg, which will unlock the ranch for him. And that's the last thing. Although there is something extra he's going to do as well. That isn't strictly necessary. It can be put off if you're slow for any reason, but he's perfectly on pace. The route doesn't need to be altered at all right now.
Yeah, I even have time to fail it once.
So, only thing he's going to need to do is before he gets Powder Keg in his inventory, it's something he can buy and use. He first needs to prove to the Powder Keg Goron that he's equipped to use it. So the test is he has to bring this Powder Keg to the big boulder blocking the Goron racetrack and blow it up there. And so once he does that, then he'll have access to Powder Kegs for the rest of the run. And these are necessary twice.
You do need to go back after completing the Powder Keg trial to unlock Powder Kegs. You need to talk to the big Goron again, which I forgot to do in my practice run.
It's okay,
Can
you
I
got
just
it out
say
of the way.
that the face on that powder keg looks like Shrek to me. That's all.
I can see it. I'm going to throw the keg here because there's a really rare thing. Well, it's not that rare, even. Sometimes you stumble when you walk across onto this bridge, and then Link will just drop the keg. There's nothing you can do about it, and it will get blown up, and you have to go and get another keg, which is usually a reset.
Yeah, like the bridge is like misaligned or something, where like it causes Link to like slip briefly, and if he slips, he drops the powder keg, and then the Wolfos just runs into it every time, which causes it to explode. And then it's like, well, we gotta go get another one and do that all over again.
Now this race is a really good example of Nintendo 64 era rubber banding. No matter how well you do, they will catch up to you. You can get good at this race to a point where you rarely lose it, but there will very rarely still be chances that you just won't win because they'll pull ahead of you and you can't catch them.
Like, there's like a lot you can do with this race to manipulate it and control it if you know what to look for. There's randomness in it, yes, but like it's within like a subset of possibilities, and if a runner has done the race a lot of times, they know like, oh, the Gorons will try to pass me here, or like I have to look out for this possibility here, because if it happens, I need to do this, and if it doesn't, then it's fine, right? So it's like, it's that sort of kind of luck. But nothing truly matters until the second half of the race. Even this is like fun, right? It's like, again, because of rubber banding, they're actually going to slow down now, which will give him plenty of time to pass them again before the second half of the race. But the second half of the race, everything needs to go like really well, because at that point you might run out of time to catch them. They're stealing his magic, which is a little bit scary, but as long as he gets the next set, he's going to be fine here. This is a very scary situation. Ooh, this can still be recovered.
Yeah, there's one more set of magic I can get.
Yeah, and then you can take these corners really tightly. You might catch that one in the front, but it's dubious. I don't know. I think if you take it sharp enough, maybe. It's going to be close. It's going to be close! Yes! Okay, it might try to pass you there. Oh, my let's go! That was a sick recovery. Oh my god.
That was very scary.
I was scared. So scared there. And again, you can actually do this entire race without, or this entire run rather, without doing that race. It's actually optional, but unfortunately, winning that race first try just to get the bottle saves time. So while we could do the entire speedrun without doing that race, the bottle is unfortunately worth it. So it introduces a lot of little high tension, little scares into every good run, an hour in. Yeah, just gonna come over here and pick up his powder keg, and then in-game time is still looking good. It's not even 5 yet, and like there's only one more thing he needs to do before night, so this is working out really, really well, where the in-game time is exactly where he'd probably want it for a marathon.
Yeah.
Plenty of extra time.
One of the hardest parts of the run, if you're just starting out learning it, is getting all of that done and making it to ranch before 6 p.m. because you very much have to. I mean, you can reroute it so that you do an extra Song of Time and do a new cycle, which is fine, but it will waste a couple of minutes. Yeah,
because you lose time to having to like re-get magic beans and like set stuff back up, and like you're gonna have to Song of Double Time at some point. It introduces like it's something you really don't want to have to do, especially at like Bruegel's level. We're going to use the powder keg here to access the ranch. And again, like the whole point is like you have to be at the ranch before night because there's a song here that you can only learn during day 1. You actually cannot learn it at any other point in the 3-day cycle. You have to be here day 1 or it's just inaccessible.
You did not see that recoil flip, by the way. That didn't happen.
Yeah, wait a minute. I wasn't gonna say anything. That's banned. Oh no, they're disqualified. No, that's okay. That's like a small thing. That's probably some muscle memory from other things.
Yeah, it was.
It's okay. I've done something worse before. It can be hard if you play a lot of different categories and speed runs and whatnot in Majora's Mask to fight your muscle memory from other ones. And I literally, when I first started doing glitchless way back in the day, I just like saw I wasn't gonna make aliens and I just did Gossip Stone time stop and didn't realize I had cheated until afterwards. Somehow that did not occur to me that would be banned. Like my chat was the one that pointed it out. Yeah, Gossip Stone time stop. I remember using that as a kid. That's not a glitch. Not a glitch at all.
We have a bit of a cutscene here if there's time for any announcements.
Yeah, we did have $15 come in from Giggles the Monkey. That is also going towards that Tetris incentive. It looks like, let me check on the totals on that. I think are we at about $800 left to go on that? Yeah, it looks like just over $800. This Tetris incentive is super cool, like I said, so please keep getting those donations in, or rupees. I'm getting hungry. I would like to grab some fast food, and I know you're all opinionated because I've seen it in chat. And if you're opinionated about this game, I know that you have fast food opinions. And I don't know, kind of want to lean into that, and I also kind of want to eat. So let me know.
Oh man, wait a minute.
Where is it?
Oh no, the last over the hill.
No.
Oh no, it was gonna be such a good time. I mean,
That was almost good.
That was almost like a crazy time. You had a very nice start. 25 is far from bad though. That's like, there was a time where I considered that really good. But you were definitely on pace for like a 20. I gotta learn right side ranch strats. I think it's faster. I've
Yep.
it's ingrained in me to do like another song. Oh no.
Yeah, that's like half.
It's good that you're not donating for every failed song.
Yeah.
You're bankrupting me here at this point.
They're maxing out credit cards.
Alright, so one more thing needs to be done before the end of day 1. And we're still inverted, so plenty of time, and we have Epona now. So all Briegel needs to do before the end of day 1 now is bring her over to the racetrack, the Gorman racetrack, and win the race before night 1. Because you also cannot do that race at night. You can do it on day 2, but by then it's kind of too late. It would ruin the route, so... The route kind of assumes you have the reward from this race already before day 2. So this race is, you're gonna get a 46, right? It's an easy 46. I've always...
I'm predicting 47.65.
47.65. All right, I'm gonna give you get a 46.83. I'm pretty sure. I have more confidence in you than you do. I see. Yeah, you're gonna see Briegel targeting actually while he steers Epona here. Oh no, the wall. Oh no.
Yeah, there goes 46.
No, the 46. I believed in you. But yeah, you see Briegel targeting here as he steers Epona, and that's actually because if you target in this game, Epona just turns faster. So it gives you a lot more control. That's why you'll see like a lot of runners target in various things when they're on Epona. Although unfortunately, Epona is a lot less relevant to this run than a lot of other Zelda speedruns, because Epona is just slower than Goron. So, outside of like times where you're like really forced to use Epona, you're not gonna see her that much. Still okay, still 47 even with the wall bonk. Yeah. Like while we have Goron, like now we're still gonna use Epona, mainly because Epona's already here. So we don't have to spend the time calling her. It was already forced to have her here for the race, and then you're going to need to jump over a fence in a second, so it kind of just works out that like you're already near where a required usage of opponent is. Although you could bypass it with a damage boost, but with opponent already there, it's faster.
Yeah, the trick that I used in Snowhead Temple to damage boost his Goron up onto the ledges, you can do also over this fence. And technically you can do that to get Zormask and the hookshot very, very early. But it turns out to be a little bit slower.
Yeah, but now that the fence has been crossed, he's going to immediately dismount Epona and put back on Goron, because Epona is slow and we don't need her. So everyone say goodbye to Epona.
Goodbye, Epona. We hardly knew you.
Farewell, Hans.
It is unfortunate that you were so slow, so goodbye.
I'm gonna uninvert here, I think.
That seems good. Yeah,
Everything
now...
from here until Aliens, which happens at like 3 a.m., but after 3 a.m., which is where I need to be at Ranch, I have to be very careful about making mistakes because time is now moving at normal speed, and I really, really don't want to be late to Ranch. That would kill the run.
You don't want to be late and you don't want to be early. That's the reason he uninverted and made time go back at normal speed. Because if you're early, you're just gonna end up waiting there a bunch because you want to do it to get the bottle at the ranch, but at the same time you don't want to be late because then you just don't get the bottle at all, and that would be rather unfortunate with this route. So the goal is to get there right as the event is happening. This is like easily the strictest part of in-game time routing in the entire run. He wants to get at the ranch at like exactly 3:20 to 3:30ish because the event you lose it at 3:49. So like if you get there any later, you won't have time to kill the first round of aliens at the ranch. And if you get there too early, you just end up waiting, and it's like waste of time, right? You want to like route your in-game time in such a way that I'm gonna play this fast for this long and get there at exactly 3:25, that sort of thing. It's easily the hardest part of this route, I think, is optimizing this bit. Either this or Great Bay Temple. Like there's a lot of like beginner to intermediate runners who lose so much time trying to route this section. It is by far the hardest in-game time section, and it's very hard to notice how much that goes into it because you very much need to know yourself as a player and how fast you can play.
Yeah, it's not just a case of copying like another runner. Like if you try to copy world record and uninvert and invert exactly when Jess does, you won't make it because you don't play exactly the same way that Jess does. So you need to plan around your own skill level, how long it takes you to get to aliens from here, and figure out from there when you need to invert and uninvert. So routing in this game and planning is all a little bit personal, in a sense, which is partly what makes it a very interesting game to speedrun.
I have a question about that, if I can pick your brain.
Go for it.
So when it comes to, like, we'll say the top 10 times for this game, is it very, very close, or is it something where there's a lot of variables and the top times are, 5 minutes, 10 minutes apart from one another?
So everyone in the top 10 is pretty close except for first and second place. Second place is a little bit ahead, which is the former world record held by Trev. And the first place is the current world record held by Jess. But both of those players are just so good at the game and spent so much time on it that they got to a level kind of beyond the other people. If that makes sense.
Yeah, those are the next level, folks.
For what it's worth, a lot of the modern in-game time routing for this category is actually kind of based around me. And like I know the newest 100% glitchless route, which has actually been, it's not new, it's like just the most current one. That one just was routed around my VODs, like using my gameplay in order to determine what was possible. So it's very much like, until someone does it and until someone's capable of it, it's hard to tell what's possible in terms of like in-game time in this game. Because like the people who do the routing and the people who play are different people, and like the routers and the people who play need to kind of be in sync for like what's possible in terms of the clock, or everything won't line up.
We kind of had that earlier in the year too with 2-bottle route in any percent glitchless because a few of us started running it, like me and Gyro, and we found while playing it that the current route, there were like some problems with it, with the in-game time. You ended up losing time because you ate a day transition that couldn't really be avoided, which wasn't accounted for in the route. But you could only find that out by like playing it extensively at a reasonably high level.
Mm-hmm. And Fox is actually mentioning it in chat, but tassing this game is like extremely difficult because a task can be way faster than any human. So a task using the human route might like not even work because in-game time will be earlier.
Oh,
so the task needs to make adjustments. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that.
Tasking this game has its unique challenges for sure. It's why tasks aren't super common for this game. There's a lot of extra work that goes into them. Because first you need to determine what's even possible. I think actually the first complete any percent glitchless task was finished last year. Like this
wow.
There really hasn't been one for a long time, but Yumius went to the trouble of making one, I believe, last year. And I believe that was when it was released. It was either earlier this year or last year. I think it was last year.
I think it was this year, but I'm also not 100% sure.
I'm not either. I know it was pretty recent, and it was a good one too. And I remember like I was Yumius was talking to a bunch of runners, what like is possible here, like what is the exact in-game time, and then you're just testing things like how fast can I do this in a task. So he had to go to all this extra trouble to plan it out. But now we're in the Pirates Fortress section of the run. We saw the Zora cutscene earlier, so now we have our water movement mask. Very, very fast in the water. And Pirates Fortress is required for a couple things in this run. We're both going to get an important item here for traversal, and there's Zora eggs here, which are necessary to obtain a song that you need. And unfortunately, the Zora eggs, there's actually one for each note in the song. So there's 7 of them, and you need a bottle for each one. And this is why bottles are going to be coming into play, and why Goron Race is done, and why Aliens is done, and why bottles are obtained at all. Because if you only have one bottle, you need to do 7 different egg trips. But if you have 3 bottles, then it actually only takes 3 combined trips to get all the eggs. That's why, but the thing is, the eggs are split between 2 areas, and so if you had 4, it would be nice, because one of the areas has 4, and one of them has 3. But there's unfortunately no fast 4th bottle. It's just faster to do 2 trips, unfortunately. That was a little unfortunate. I saw the vision. You were trying to save some time there.
Yeah, I usually wait until I'm higher up to be on the safe side, but I thought, you know what? I mean, it's a marathon. It's time to be risky for some reason. That's what my brain said.
That is the time to be risky.
It's fine. I may have to invert time once more later. Or yeah, I might not make it to Pam's house, but we're good.
I believe your in-game time's still good as long as you don't make any further mistakes from here, but it definitely don't want to risk it for a marathon if it's starting to look close.
Yeah, I'm fine with inverting if I have to.
The goal of this whole section is that he never has to invert the in-game time again, right? Because it takes time to invert, and also if you end up having to invert, it means you were slow. So you've already lost time, and now you're losing more from inverting. Small difference between English and Japanese. On English, that pirate is placed further forward and catches you immediately. On Japanese, she's placed slightly further back, so you have time to side hop to the right and get around her, and then walk over here and shoot the beehive from the front, rather than having to go to the top. All possible only in the Japanese version. That movement he just did and the way this room was just cleared, not possible in English. Well, possible kind of with Stone Mask.
Shout out to our Japanese restream, by the way. How's it going over there? How we doing? French restream as well. Love that we have 2 foreign language restreams this year. So cool.
Oop.
I get hookshot, and then even though hookshot is the intended way, you can actually just jump from the chest and reach this tank a little faster and get the first egg. And there's only 1 available bottle here, but again, there's 4 eggs in Pirate's Fortress, and when he comes back, he's going to have 3 more bottles, like 3 empty ones. So by doing it in 1 and 3, you can get it in the minimum number of trips with 3 bottles, and that's fine. Not going to go drop off the egg right away. That's actually just all going to be later, we're only here for the hook shot and just incidentally getting an egg while it's available, is actually going to head back to Clocktown now that he has hook shot and hit up all the shops. We're going on a little shopping spree.
I'm just going to take care of the egg for a little while. We could sell it to the Curiosity Shop guy, but we won't.
I was going to say the same thing. A lot of people don't know you can sell the Zora eggs, then you just can't get the song on that 3-day cycle anymore. Yeah, selling the gold dust at Curiosity Shop just to fill up the wallet. You can use the gold dust to upgrade your sword, but the sword upgrade is unfortunately not actually that valuable in a speedrun. Like, you don't use the sword a ton, and there's a lot of alternate ways to get damage, so it's not worth it. It's better just sell it, fill up your wallet. Then gonna come over here for a fish. Remember this fish. This fish will be useful eventually. Not gonna use it for a while, but very important fish.
Does the fish have a name? Or can we give the fish a name?
Familiar with the name for the fish.
I don't think he has a name yet. We could give him a name.
I think donate to give the fish a name. I've seen a lot of names, but if we don't have one for the fish, we have to get one. This is very important.
I agree.
I don't know if I could ever be so important as to name the fish myself. I might have to leave that one to check. I can't. That's too much pressure. I can't decide on the name.
We'll think on it. We'll do it like a naming bid war. Unofficial, but sort of official naming bid war to name the fish. I will keep track. Narpus Swordfish is an incredible suggestion right off the bat. Please, I can't take it from chat though. Narpus Swordfish at $0 currently. We gotta get that in.
Alright, so now, because Regal got hookshot earlier, we're actually going to head over. Again, we've only completed one dungeon in the game so far, but there's a lot of setup going on right now for the second half of the run where we're getting everything we need to complete all the dungeons, and all the remainder of the dungeons are going to be completed in the second half of the run. So right now we're heading to the Ikana section of the map to get everything that you need for that, and this is actually normally the area where you do the last dungeon of the game before the final boss. But despite that, we're here now because we have everything we need to, like, kind of reach it. Normally you'd want to have already come to Great Bay Temple and gotten ice arrows in order to access Ikana, but you'll actually see soon why that's not going to be necessary.
I'm going to set up a prank on Kita right now by dropping a bomb before we wake him up. So it's going to hit him, like, during this cutscene and stun him.
Yeah, and normally he, like, ends this cutscene much further away, past the first gate already, and you have to fight your way through waves of stall children, but instead you can just stun him and hit him right here before he even gets through one fire gate and skip the trouble of ever chasing him down. And then, again, another power crouch stab usage. Deku Jump Slash was done, and then crouch stabs continue to have Deku Jump Slash damage, which is 4 times as powerful as the base sword damage. So Deku Sticks are just better than the base sword in this game. Outside of, like, the 2 or 3 enemies immune to Deku Sticks for some reason.
One of them is a boss.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know for the longest time. Adalwa is immune to Deku Sticks for some reason. He just doesn't take damage from them. Just bounce right off.
Posting 07 in chat for Captain Kita as his custom.
Salutes. Salutes. Let me know when I have a moment to jump in as well. We have some exciting news.
Right now is a good time.
Wonderful. So, I want to let everybody know that we have officially opened our incentive for our bonus game this evening. That is Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I am so sure everyone in here wants to see that. I would like to see that. We need $1,250 to meet that. That's coming up. I mean, it's this evening. It's tonight. So please get those donations in. And I am seeing that we did have RB donate $5 towards naming the fish Narpus Swordfish. saying, Narpa Swordfish, I am putting my money towards it. Thank you, RB. Please keep the name bid war going, and please get those donations in for Donkey Kong Bonanza. I am so excited for that run.
Love to see some Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I've actually never seen that one. Game's so new, I haven't even.
I know. They've already figured it out.
Yeah, I've heard it's quite fast. So that's gonna be cool, actually. That's a new one.
Whoops. So
got Captain's Hat. Gonna come down here, light these torches. And this is
Iron
all...
Knuckle is a little bit scary because he will one-shot us with 4 hearts. He hits the hardest of any enemy, I think.
Yep, every slash of this guy's axe does 4 hearts exactly, so there's no surviving any hit here. He's doing the fast strat too. Ooh!
Exactly.
Yeah, he just turned a little too much there.
I think, when do I want to invert? Because I will have to.
Are you gonna be able to soar away at the owl statue still, maybe?
Maybe. Okay, I'll leave it for now because...
Yeah, you still have a little time before you'd have to invert, I think. Yeah. Another... He turned a lot again. This time misses. Looks scary, but now he's just gonna end up... As long as all these punches land, it'll interrupt every slash before it hits, and then he will go down. And that's another... Iron Knuckle, actually, we were talking about Deku Stick immunity. Iron Knuckle is actually one of the other enemies that's immune to Deku Stick. So Goron punches ends up being the best way to fight him, as far as our damage is concerned.
I do
there's actually a
just whacking him with a stick. Go ahead.
Nah, I was gonna say, like, Deku Sticks, they do work once his armor's off, but like it's not worth it at that point. And Goron punches do decent damage. There's actually a safer strat you can do there, but Breagle's insane and was going for the faster one, and it just didn't work out this time. There's like a strat where you alternate Goron pounds and punches, and the Goron pounds take you up into the air, so the slashes just miss that way. But Breagle's was doing a strat that's a lot faster because the Goron pounds are slow even if they dodge damage. So Breagle was just standing there and punching, and if as long as you like stand in the right spot, you can get the slashes to miss.
I don't even mind that it's faster, I just think it's funny.
Yeah, if you get the side slash for the first one, you can actually shield underneath it, but he didn't get the side slash. He got the vertical slash, which is easier, but less fun. Because when Goron shields, he like just gets way down on the ground. So the slashes just go right over him, and then he can just unshield and keep punching. Iron Knuckles are so much scarier in this game than OOT though, because in OOT they're not as aggressive. They don't do when you get behind them in MM, they do like a turnaround slash that's really fast. In OOT, I don't think they do that. So they made them like more aggressive in this game as well. Like you have to be very careful in MM when doing that strat in particular, that you do not get behind the Iron Knuckle. Because if you get behind the Iron Knuckle, he's just gonna turn around and like get you immediately. Like that is his fastest attack, is if you're behind him. So you really don't want to be behind him ever. Yeah, I think it's fine that you inverted here, because it's definitely, for marathon safety, it's looking a little scary.
Yeah, it could have maybe just barely made it to the owl statue, but I mean, this way I'll get to play Song of Storms and go to Pamela's dad, get the Gibdo mask, and then go to Ranch, I think.
Alright, so now normally you'd need ice arrows to cross this river. You're supposed to freeze those Octoroks that you just saw spawn. But if you get into a very precise position here, not super precise, but precise enough, where you have to be just in the right spot, you can just barely reach this tree with this hook shot. It's very tight. Just barely made it at the lowest part of the tree, and you can skip needing ice arrows to reach Akana, which allows you to get here and hit the owl statue early. We're still going to need to leave because we need to do other things, but being able to come to Graveyard, get Captain's Hat, get the song, and hit the owl statue all in a row like this early will save a lot of time on movement later. It works out really well for in-game time routing as well.
Oh. Yeah, Goron movement is Very sketchy.
Yeah. And like on that section too, you really do want to cut the corner as you're going up the slope there, because if you don't get the corner, the Gibdos will freeze you. So it's very important that you stay far away from the Gibdos that are rotating around the music house there. So while it looks silly that he fell, he really does have to try and cut that corner like tightly, or else he'll get frozen. Yeah, this is actually it's either the longest or the second longest cutscene in the run, right? This is also a suitable bathroom break.
Yeah, or if there are any announcements.
Yeah. I was gonna say, don't run off too quick, because we have another donation towards naming the fish. We have Giggles the Monkey also donating $5, which means this is a tie now for naming the fish Finley. So, again, now we've got like triple the incentive and the reason to get this fish name in. First off, it's cool and it's tied, so we obviously need to break the tie. Second, we have the DK Bonanza incentive open for later today, and I know we want to see that run. And third, and perhaps most importantly of all, we are raising money for an awesome cause with Trans Lifeline, so I know you all want to support that. Please keep sending those in, or just send me some bananas.
Thank you, Giggles. Giggles is one of my best friends.
So, I don't know. This fun fact during this cutscene, I guess, you can see like there's a little white dot that's appearing on screen sometimes if you look for it. That's actually Tattle. During every cutscene, even where like Link isn't so supposed to be present, like, it's at the bottom of the screen right now, that white dot floating around. I believe that's Tattle. Link is always present on every scene, even if he's not like the focus. So Link is just down there by the entrance to Akana Castle while this cutscene's playing. It's not super interesting, but this is a very long cutscene.
Well then, I will let folks know as well that if we meet both of the incentives that are open currently, so that's the Tetris, adding the death mode, and then also DK Bonanza, we would hit $15,000 raised this weekend. That is a huge milestone, so please keep pushing towards that. 15K would be an awesome number. There's also a lot of fun numbers along the way, so if we want to hit like a 14,420 or a 1469, we'll hit those along the way. It'll be fun, and there'll be fish names.
You thought it was over here. Our boy Sharp here has got, he's got some more expositing for us to go.
Man, what is he yapping about? Jeez, this is okay. Does he?
Here he goes.
Does he have he doesn't have a voice canonically, right? But do we think at least that he would support Trans Lifeline? Can I let him speak as if we are, talking about the charity a little bit here?
I feel like he'd be down for that.
I think so. Well, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, especially after we call him his heart earlier with the Song of Storms, he's no longer.
Yeah.
See,
he knows what we're doing. He knows that we are here. We're here at Fall Fest 2025. Thank you all again for being here. By the way, this is so fun. We are supporting Trans Lifeline, the mission of which is to connect trans people to the community support and resources that they need to survive and thrive. They envision a world where trans people have the connection, economic security, and care that everyone needs and deserves, free of police, emergency responders, and prisons that disproportionately inflict violence and mistreatment on trans individuals. Since 2014, Trans Lifeline operators have answered over 100,000 calls from their peers. We fully support the mission of Trans Lifeline to help empower trans people through the power of community and shared experience. You can learn more at translifeline.org. You can also type !charity in chat. And I want to get those donations in. We've got so much we're working towards right now. I want to see it. I want those big numbers. I want number go up, chat. Can we make number go up?
Number go up is good. I like it when number go up.
I love when number go up.
Yeah. So the Akana section has been wrapped up. The only real thing that happened there is actually as the girl who lives at this house is called Pamela, and she starts outside after you raise the river looking at it, but she runs inside because she's scared of you. But if you pull out a bomb shoe as you walk into the cutscene of her running back in, it'll blow up during the cutscene, and then she'll just immediately come back up. Because, as we all do, like, if you hear an explosion outside, that's the sign. Like, I gotta go out and check that out. That's the time to go outside, is when you start hearing explosions going off. But with the invert, does end up getting here at basically the exact time you want. So like the aliens event at the ranch here, where they're trying to steal the cows, it started at 2:30. It's nearly 3:30, so they're going to be pretty close to the house already. So Briegel needs to get over there with Goron and shoot the first wave of aliens, all 8 of them, before they reach at 3:49, which is when you'll lose the event and you lose access to the bottle. So he's going to shoot one through the wall here, because there's no collision on that wall. They just didn't put it there or something. And then the other 7 are all accessible from this side, and so that's it. That was clean. All 8 of them are gone. Phew. So that's the stressful part over. Made it just in time. Ends up killing the first wave before any of them reach. Then he's going to end up waiting until 4 o'clock here to start shooting the next wave. After 4 o'clock, any alien that you kill... when you kill an alien, it automatically gets replaced by another one. But if you kill them after 4, the one it gets replaced by doesn't have time to reach the house anymore. So he's just going to kill one more wave. Another set of 8 here, and then after that, he's won the event.
They do move slower when time is inverted, so I could have left time inverted while I killed the first wave, but that wouldn't have been very interesting, so...
Yeah, they're showing off here. That's the way you want to do it, Eddie. And then... Franker Z over there is very helpful. He always barks at the alien that's closest to the building, which is, like, I thought that was supposed to be clear, but a lot of people don't know that. Like, Franker Z is actually trying to help you out. He always points out the alien that's closest.
After that, our in-game time becomes a bit more chill. There's no, like, major events that we can miss, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Now
it's
just
really
about
just routing
going
for like
fast.
the end of the cycle now, yeah. So he's gonna immediately soar back to Akana here.
Oops.
And the reason you go to Akana is because currently you have a bottle filled with milk, so while you would love to continue getting the Zora eggs, that milk is actually useful in this run. So you want to make use of that immediately, so Akana is done first here, just to free up bottles. Like, a lot of the order of stuff in this section of the run actually just is, like, what do our bottles let us do? Because we want to get all the Zora eggs, but to get all the Zora eggs, we need our bottles free. And so we sold the gold dust already, so that bottle's free. And we have the milk, and the milk is actually useful. So while we could just drink it and free up the bottle, it's actually useful for clearing the well here. We're actually walking into the well here with most of the stuff we need to clear it already. So you're going to see him equip the magic beans we bought earlier, the fish, and Gibdo mask, and we already have like half the things we need to clear the well, and the rest are inside the well. So I know we're working on naming this fish, but everyone's going to have to say goodbye to the fish for now.
Well, can I jump in with a last-minute snipe of the fish name?
Oh, let's do
Go
it.
for it.
We have $20 from the Wayfaring Fox saying, "Hi Briegel, I would like to name the fish ESF, which is short for Emotional Support Fish. It's a blast having you alongside everyone else in the multi-furled group, and I'm happy to see you've been doing extremely well with the game. Thank you so much, Wayfaring Fox, and thank you for officially, I think, naming this fish ESF, and thank you to everyone who donated as well. Keep it going. We're really closing in on 13K here, so please, let's close that gap. We are working towards 2 incredible incentives with Tetris and DK Bonanza, so keep it coming, friends."
All that Gibdo ever needed was an emotional support fish.
Dang.
Oh no, that's unfortunate. So normally the angle was slightly off there. That's unfortunate because those spike things are just going on the edge of the room there. But like, what can happen is the bombs, you can just run into them, but normally you want it to run along that back wall, and on the ceiling it actually blows up on the big Poe right as he's spawning. But instead you're just going to get him caught in a bomb loop here where the bomb explodes right as he's spawning and does the same thing. It's just you want to start normally with the bomb chew.
It's still a fun strat.
Oh yeah. And this big Poe is actually the only thing we didn't walk into the well with that you need to clear the well, so we just open up the doors to it, grab it, and then we have the stuff we need. So this is the door that we opened with ESF here, the fish. And then this one requires the big Poe. And then, fortunately, the next Gibdo after this requires a bottle of milk, which we so conveniently just got from the Aliens event. And then we'll be able to clear up that bottle and find use for it right away.
The only other place you can get a big pearl is Dampé digging, which we definitely don't want to do. It would be another bottle, though.
It would. So but unfortunately, you can only get that bottle on third night, which just does not work with the route whatsoever. Because we do not go to graveyard on third night, and we don't want to be at graveyard on third night.
Oops.
Yeah, this is just picking up the mirror shield at the end of the well, which is going to be necessary later on in the route, both in Stone Tower Temple and Akana Castle. And yet, despite us having done basically all the setup we need now for Akana Castle and Stone Tower Temple, we're going to leave again and continue setting up for the other dungeons. We're just jumping from dungeon to dungeon without doing them. With these equips, I believe you normally go to Woodfall after this. Is that the route you're doing? I know there's...
Yeah, I'm heading to Woodfall.
Yeah. There's been at various points in Glitchless's history, Woodfall has kind of gotten moved around because it's kind of flexible. You kind of just do it when you need to for in-game time. But I think it's pretty set in stone here now. The biggest reason it's here now, when it can just be anywhere, is because you want fire arrows and they're already equipped. I think that's the only reason. It's they're already on a C button. I guess we're doing Woodfall now.
Yeah, it takes an extra 1.3 seconds to equip elemental arrows, so you gotta make it worth it.
Saving all the time. It's free 1.3 seconds.
Not with these equips, though. I haven't done Aliens route in a little while. I picked this back up for the marathon. I'm a little bit rusty on equips.
Again, so now, we did half of Woodfall earlier. Briegel already has the boss key and the bow, obviously, right? So with hookshot and fire arrows, you can actually just finish this dungeon really quickly. You can just hookshot to this torch to skip right to the end, and then this door, normally you'd have to shoot the torch through with the normal bow and light a torch, and then transfer it from the center torch to this torch, and with fire arrows, you just shoot the final torch and open the door and you're done. So it removes a lot of the fun transferring the fire around, because you just happen to have fire already. And then with hookshot, you can also skip this entire room. If you stand on the corner of this, oh man, the dragonfly, my favorite. Those dragonflies are awful, and I hate them. They always get in your way here while you're trying to line up this hookshot, so Briegel just takes them out before they can.
Yeah, I pull out the fire arrow right away.
Yeah, because unfortunately that hookshot's kind of precise, so it takes some time to line it up sometimes, and that dragonfly will always get in your way while you're lining it up.
Finally, the first boss. I mean, we did one boss already, but the first boss.
This is a boss fight, if everything goes well. This is absolutely a boss fight. You're going to see him do a crouch stab, and another one, and another one. He's just gonna keep doing crouch stabs, and Adalwa's going to respectfully sit there and die. That was a boss fight.
Good boss.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I wish I could fight bosses that fast.
Yeah, the way that boss works is, if you hit him quickly, eventually he'll break out of the hits, because he has, most bosses in Zelda games, the way they're set up, at least in the N64 ones, ones that get stunned like that, they're supposed to just get a hit a couple times and then automatically break out. But if you delay your hits at the rhythm that Briegel was doing, instead it, restarts the stun timer over and over while dealing damage. Because you didn't hit him quickly enough to initiate the auto breakout.
That's so cool. I love that. I would never be able to replicate it.
There is another boss in this run that same strategy will be used for. So
perfect. Yeah, as chat said, they blinked and they missed it, so we gotta do it again. Show it off again.
It will be done again. Yeah, that's 2 dungeons down. We finally beat Woodfall that we entered. How long ago was it? It was an hour 20 ago, almost an hour and a half. I'm actually really sad about how quick the Adalwa boss fight is, by the way. Adalwa has, some of the most unique attacks of any Zelda boss. Adalwa actually has, double-digit number of unique attacks. and in every speed run, he just dies instantly without getting to do like any of them. It's so sad. Like Adalwa is one of the most complex Zelda bosses. I feel like he's not hard, but he's complex with just so many unique attacks.
So in a casual run, that's your boss. That's your favorite.
Might actually be. Yeah. I like a lot of the bosses in this game. I feel well, this one and Goat are my favorite. Yeah, Odalwa is a really unique boss, and the final boss as well. But maybe out of the non-final bosses, Odalwa might be the most interesting. Just because he's got so much going on, he doesn't get to do any of it. It's so sad. Alright, finally gonna drop off this egg that we've been holding on to, which frees up our final bottle, and then we'll have 3 empty bottles. Oh man, the jump! Heck yeah, that jump over climbing the ladder saves 0.3 seconds.
It's so worth it.
That's critical. That is critical.
No, it's even more critical when you realize that he's gonna have to drop more eggs, so you have to do it multiple times. So he's actually gonna skip climbing that ladder 2 more times, save almost 1 second at the end of it all.
The best part is that it's really hard to do.
That's how you get on those leaderboards. It's that 1 second. I know it's this. It's this part of the game, truly.
So yeah, we're actually like pretty much set up to just like jump into the remaining 2 dungeons. Like Akana and Great Bay are almost done. But there's a couple more eggs to get in Great Bay. Again, freeing up all the bottles allowed for this. Are you boat jumping, by the way?
Hopefully.
All right. Okay. Wait a minute. Everyone, hold your breath. It's a little tricky, a little precise, but really cool. Oh, got the jump. And then the hook shot. Oh my God, flawless. That was really good. Nice.
Very cool.
That is a very fun strat, and it lets you enter for your second trip into Pirate's Fortress a lot faster here. You can just immediately enter on this side and start collecting eggs.
That's one of those strats that I saw someone do once and was like, I need to learn how to do that.
I wonder if... I don't know who came up with that one. Because that one definitely wasn't a thing back in the day when I started running glitchless. But I feel like it may have been Sample. I'm not sure. I don't want to like take the credit away from someone when I'm not 100% certain. So it's my best guess as to who came up with that one.
Shout out to whoever. Great job.
It's been too long. I'm old at this point. I'm speedrun grandpa at this point. It's like, yeah, I probably knew everyone who came up with these things.
We're turning to dust in this run today. Jeez.
Oh man, wait, Fox has it dated back even further than I thought. I didn't even know about that. It was may have been.
That's almost 20 years ago. I don't want to think about that.
Oh no, we caught the fish.
Yeah, the Japanese fish.
Yeah. So that the center fish, and specifically this tank, for some reason is prioritized over the egg for bottle swipes. For the English version of this game, the egg is prioritized over the fish. So even if like your bottle passes through the fish, it'll get the egg instead. But on Japanese, the fish has higher priority for your bottle swipe. So you have to get into a very specific part of the tank where the egg is in range, but not the fish. Dodging that fish is actually like another English to Japanese difference. We're just gonna, side hop by that pirate, screaming the whole way. She doesn't notice. She doesn't hear it. It's fine.
She's having a rough day. It's fine. It happens.
She's not paid enough to deal with it, honestly.
Exactly.
The way the pirates work is they do technically, like, hear Link, but they don't hear side hops or backflips. They hear just, like, normal walking. So as long as you do only side hops and don't walk in between, the pirate won't turn towards you. So that's why I did that. Rolls also, the pirates don't turn towards. Like, any sort of non-standard movement, the pirate just ignores.
I would skip, personally, if I were trying to evade a pirate. Just like a jaunty little skip by her. She'd never see me coming.
Oh, another fun thing you can do to avoid the pirates, Deku can shield, and Deku shielding is short enough that the pirate just, like, looks over them and never sees them. Like, you're just short enough, but unfortunately, if you're too close to them, they won't walk away from you. But as long as you're far enough away, they'll eventually walk away. Yeah, that cleans up Pirate's Fortress, and we're going to get to see the jump again, the one that saves 0.3 seconds.
This is big. This is big, folks. This is the jump.
It runs over if I don't make it.
Yeah, it's safe to say this dictates the quality of the entire speedrun. Let's go.
Okay.
2 out of 2. The jump actually looks simple, but it actually abuses a really weird mechanic in N64 Zeldas. You actually have to hold the control stick towards the wall there. You actually, you think that's pretty unintuitive. You'd think you just have to go straight, like as directly as you can. But for some reason, holding the control stick towards the wall extends your jump. I don't know why. I cannot, I've never had this explained to me, and I do not know.
I heard once it's something to do with Link's acceleration when he's next to a wall, like he gets a little bit more, but some kind of wizardry that I don't understand.
Yeah. Wizardry is the best. The game gets confused. It's my favorite explanation. No. But yeah, you have to hold towards the wall for that jump, rather than holding straight ahead. Like, you still have to hold kind of straight ahead, but kind of angled into the wall for that jump to work. Otherwise, it doesn't work, and you actually won't grab the ledge. Alright. Normally, for this section, by the way, you have to take a very specific path here, otherwise you void like that. There's a whole thing where, like, you get a seahorse that helps you and guides you on this section. But if you know the path already, you can just do it and skip getting the seahorse. And you're gonna see Briegel. We actually haven't talked about this yet. Briegel, you're seeing, is doing dolphin dives in and out of the water, and that's because Link accelerates whenever he jumps out of the water. So it's actually faster to traverse the water by constantly jumping out of it like this, as long as you can keep him relatively level. You don't want to be jumping way up into the air vertical and then coming back down. That's slow. But if you can keep him level, you're constantly accelerating, and it's deceptive how much faster you go, because you really can't tell. That is an unfortunate glitch, by the way, where if you get eaten by any of the eels, and then press R, you'll fall all the way down. So, it's not faster, so while it is a glitch, it is not beneficial to the speedrun. We're not going to call that cheating. It is purely harmful that happened, unfortunately. It's okay. It's not a big deal. He's just going to do the eggs in reverse order now.
We just start from the bottom, it's fine. As long as I go to the correct one. The routing here is a little bit different from Alien's 2-bottle route, which is like the two main glitchless routes that people use. And it's been a little while since I did this one.
Because with 2-bottle route, there's 3 eggs here, so you actually have to make 2 trips here, but with 3-bottle route, the big advantage is you only need to do 1 trip to Pinnacle Rock rather than 2. And Pirate's Fortress is 2 either way, so that's fine. But yeah, 2-bottle route loses time to Pinnacle Rock, but obviously saves time to not having to get the 3rd bottle. So, and I believe 3-bottle executed well is slightly faster, but only just barely. And that's the last of the 3 eggs. So now we're heading back, and that's the rest of the cleanup necessary to get into Great Bay Temple. Gonna get the song and head to the dungeon. And good time, too. While in-game time isn't important, it continues to be relevant. And one big thing, actually, is you want to be inside Great Bay Temple before the day transition from day to night. Because the way the game works is whenever you transition from, like, day to night or night to day, the game actually plays, like, a cutscene with, like, a title card. Like, oh, here's the day it is, you know, so many hours remain, and it freezes everything and you can't control Link for a bit. But in a lot of areas within the game, it actually does not play that, and dungeons are one of them. So you can actually skip it if you're in the dungeon before night. Oh, 3rd time at the jump, 3 for 3, let's go.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm going to drop these eggs off.
Yeah.
Sorry, you first.
I was just gonna say, like, so being able to skip like those day to night and night to day transitions is actually something that we attempt to do whenever possible in these runs, because some of them are quite long, as much as 8 seconds, I think, for like night to day.
Yeah, that's one good thing also about like when we went to the well earlier. We get into the well after aliens just in time to take the night transition in the well, which saves some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I was going to say
aliens...
now we're getting the song right here, so if there are any announcements, there's quite a long cutscene here.
Wonderful. Well, I mean, this is perfect timing because we just had a raid come in from Zelda speedruns, which, I don't know, happens to be what we're doing right now. We are running Majora's Mask. We are raising money for Trans Lifeline. Looks like we've got that donate happening in chat, so please, friends who are just now joining us, I would love to see those donations come in for Trans Lifeline. And in fact, we actually just got one from Ian Keith here, donating $80 towards adding death mode in Tetris. And Ian says, "You don't go telling me there can be more Tetris and not expect me to demand more Tetris. More Tetris means more marathon. More marathon means more money for Trans Lifeline. I have so many friends in the Tetris and furry community that are trans, questioning, and all sorts of in between, and I live to support them all." Well, Ian, you are in good company. That is what we are doing here today. Thank you so much for that donation. Going hard on that Tetris. I'm so excited to see that. And of course, we also have that Donkey Kong Bonanza bonus game incentive open as well. So plenty of wonderful reasons to donate. Or if you're just a Zelda fan, which I'm guessing by your names, you probably are.
Not too much long of the marathon left to go if you haven't donated yet and you were thinking about it.
Yeah, check those couch cushions. Make sure especially if you're just now joining us, welcome. Where have you been all weekend, friends? But yes, we're in the home stretch of this marathon. But we would love to extend it. That Donkey Kong Bonanza is a bonus game. It would extend this marathon, which means more for you to watch and more time to raise money for Trans Lifeline. So please get those in. And of course, it does mean I will read that out to everyone. So if you've got, like I said, opinions you want to share, if you need somewhere to just sort of let that out, let me know. I'll read it for you. Or, as I was saying earlier, you can tell me what to get for lunch, because I'm really hungry, and I need your opinions on that as well. Throw me some rupees.
You saw Regal's magic fall into the water there?
The classic. that magic jar can just fall into the ocean sometimes, and you're not getting it.
It's all the way to the bottom. That's okay. Just gonna have to get some magic inside the temple instead. But yeah, this is the part of the run we were hyping up earlier. I'd say Great Bay Temple, by far the best dungeon to watch in a glitchless speedrun, and easily the most technical, but also the most difficult for the runner. It's just constant tricks and sequence breaks and skips, like the whole way. Like, we do the room this way faster, so we're gonna have to try and keep up with what's going on, because like every room has like a skip or a trick or something, pretty much. It also has probably the worst fight in the run.
Yeah.
Raiders, you are in at a perfect time. You have come at a perfect time. Stick around. If you can't watch anything else, even though I think you should, stay for this dungeon. This is good stuff.
And, while it has the worst fight in the run, it's not the boss. It's not the boss.
It's never the boss.
Yeah, Zora movement in particular just makes this one of my favorite water temples in like any dungeon. Or any game, rather. Any Zelda game. That's what I meant. In glitchless, it's by far the highlight. Stone Tower Temple's cool as well. And in a lot of glitched runs, I'd say like Stone Tower Temple might be the highlight, but in a glitchless run, Great Bay Temple like far outshines it.
GBT can either be Great Bay Temple or Good Boy Temple, depending on your perspective.
Am I okay to jump in real quick with a donation?
Yeah, feel free. We have like a minute here.
Wonderful. We have $50 that just came in from Tobias G, who says, "In honor of all my wonderful friends in the queer community, that is going towards the Donkey Kong Bonanza bonus game." Thank you so much, Tobias. And with that, We have only $50 left until we hit 13K. So, friends, let's get it in. Let's hit that 13K. We are so close, and we are getting ever closer to that Tetris upgrade and to Donkey Kong Bonanza.
All right, so here we go.
Goodbye to Donatello here.
So I promise that tricks constantly. It's right away. Put on a room with nothing but water, and Goron sinks like a rock. He's gonna do some side hops, do a C up to line up the angle he's looking for here. Then he's gonna side hop onto this platform as it rises.
Okay. And void.
Little early. Fine. Another chance. Doesn't affect anything. So do the setup again. He wants to side hop onto that platform right as it starts rising, so that he doesn't drown. Once it starts going up, Goron will have somewhere to stand. Like that. Then he's going to set up the angle. He's going to look to roll at the right time. Land on this spinning blade. And then get up the top, roll across. Beautiful. Perfect. Skips that entire first room. But no, it continues. We're not even done. So in this next room, you're going to see you're not going to see it. He's hit target. So he's actually targeting right now. Then he's going to bonk this wall. But with the angle with here targeted, he's going to immediately spin the camera back around after he bonks the wall. So he can grab that ledge and skip that room as well, which normally you want ice arrows to even reach this room, which he doesn't have yet. So, and it keeps going. I love this dungeon. I love this dungeon a lot. So that's going to push the first of the red turnkeys in the dungeon, which you need to push all of those to eventually reverse the current of water in the dungeon. So he's going to need to push all of those before doing that. So that's why we need access to that room. Now in this room, he's going to do a jump. Normally you need to fight a mini-boss to get the boss key, or you could use ice arrows to skip the mini-boss, but he's not even going to get ice arrows. He's just going to do a very precise jump that just barely lands up there. You need to do that in a very specific way in order to grab that, and that was very clean. So that skips an entire mini-boss fight that normally leads to that boss key. Then come down here, grab this small key. And the really nice thing about all these tricks is normally in a casual playthrough, you have to do like 2 whole go-arounds of this dungeon to get everything. You have to get that small key, then go get ice arrows, then come back for the boss key. But the way Breagle's doing it, you only need to do 1. Bonk off the wall, land on the red pipe, small optimization, why not? And now comes the worst fight of the run, probably. The hardest one. It's one of the hardest fights to optimize in a speed run because there's so much randomness and so much that's hard to control. It's a very difficult fight to do quickly. And like, if it goes wrong, you can even die. So this boss is going to be floating around. He's got all these bubbles surrounding him, and you're supposed to like probably start killing them. Like you can knock them off with bow or hook shot, but like they're protecting the eye underneath that is the weak point. But using bombs, you can actually reach the weak point. And there's even a strat you can do to double hit him as well. If you pull bombs in just the right way, every time he opens his eye, you can get 2 hits.
I missed one.
It's very tricky. Yeah. It takes 3 bombs normally to knock him down, so he's got another try to potentially knock him down here if he gets the double. It was closer. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Even like if it's very precise. Like I think I saw a second hit, but like it doesn't actually count, unfortunately. And then he's got unfortunate luck where it's dipping away from him. But this next bomb will knock him down, and then it's just like a free-for-all. He's going to try to get away from all the bubbles, clear him out with Deku Nuts, maybe clear him out with bombs once he runs out. And then, like, once he clears away, notice he's going clockwise around the room. This is the dumbest detail. I don't know why it's a thing. If you go clockwise around the room, the bubbles fall behind you. If you go counterclockwise, they're always in front of you. Something about their movement pattern just lets them do that. And so you can get ahead of them if you go clockwise around the room rather than counterclockwise. But ends up being a pretty clean second phase. Managed to distance himself from the bubbles and get an arrow shot.
Yeah, that was a little bit slow, but I didn't take too much damage, so I'm okay with that. It was relatively safe, because you can't avoid taking a lot of damage in that fight, and it can be really sketchy.
Yeah, that's like the big problem with that fight in a speedrun is because like like if you played that fight really slow, it's probably not that bad to do that fight with like really minimal damage. But like the optimal strat in a speedrun is bombs away, and every bomb you're pulling out, you're taking damage yourself with because you're trying to double hit during it. So you're damaging yourself even during that fight when you're trying to speedrun. So it makes the fight even more dangerous. Nice ice arrow there. Just
I have no idea why that happens sometimes. Hitboxes in this game sometimes are not where you expect them to be.
I don't even know what happened there. I can't recall ever having seen that. Alright, so this is the last red turn key he needs to pull as well. So he's got ice arrows, he's pulled all the red turn keys. There's just one more that will... The next red turn key is the one that actually, like, turns on the water current for the water that's now pumping through the red pipes. You can actually see, if you look at the red pipes, there's, like, water going through them now. Small trick here that he's gonna do... Ooh, yeah, you have magic.
I have magic? Yeah. Yeah.
You do. Yeah, you have just enough. He's gonna shoot an ice arrow and then immediately turn towards the ladder, and he's actually climbing the ladder during the cutscene. So at the end of it, he'll just be at the top, can get magic from that pot, perfect refill. Sorry, like, this dungeon's really fast. I'm just going off, because, like, there's constantly stuff happening. In this
No, we
next
love
room,
it. Fast is what we're supposed to be doing.
This trick, Zora high ledge grab. He's gonna roll off, do a dive, press B, grab that, skip the entire room. Like, there's tons of ways to do that room with ice arrows or a hook shot up to the ceiling and jump down. High ledge grab, it's like a 3-frame B press, and you can just cancel your swim at the right time and grab the ledge.
Why do dungeon when you can skip dungeon?
This dungeon is crazy. And the nice thing about that as well is he's actually now set his spawn point at that door, which is going to be used in a second. I'll explain what that means when it happens. But for now, he's in the back at the beginning of the dungeon. He's going to reverse the current of the water now. So he's going to come up here, hook shot to this, push the red turn key, which will now cause a water pillar to come out of that red one. So now there's water coming out of both. And then if he goes and turns off the yellow one immediately afterwards, then it'll be spinning the other way. And he can all the water currents in the different tunnels will be reversed, giving him access to the rest of the dungeon.
No fast strat. I mean, it doesn't save too much time, but it's really fun. Sometimes you can just skip along the water if you press B at exactly the right frame.
Another, like, kind of high ledge grab style thing. So now that the water has reversed, you would think he'd have to go back through this room again, which is, you know, he could do the trick, but actually the thing is going in the opposite direction, so the trick would be harder. Or he could put on Goron, drown, and just go back to the door that he set earlier with the green turn key, and just start from this room. And now another trick! Alright, this one, I'm gonna actually just let him do this one, because this one's tricky. But we'll talk about it after. Nice. Okay, it's not over. Walk around, grab the ledge. Nice. Oh, even skip the ledge grab.
Yeah, not even the ledge grab. Nice.
Clean. Just a very precise dive out of the water to get on top of that thing while it's spinning. And then can just ride it around and go all the way to the door, skipping a whole puzzle where you need to, like, freeze it with ice arrows and then, like, use that to climb across. You can just do it while it's moving. And it gets you right to the room with the last green turn key. And this green turn key is the last one in order to get the water current to the boss door, which you're gonna need. And then even then, in this room, like, normally you could use the seesaw with fire arrows, but you can actually just walk along this green pipe here in order to exit the room faster than the method that uses the fire arrows, right? You can gainer up on this green pipe, run along it to the end, and then just jump down to the exit door.
This is what we meant by saying that glitchless is very different from doing things the intended way, because we haven't used ice arrows or fire arrows. We've actually done... We do almost all the dungeon, but just none of the rooms the way that Miyamoto intended.
Exactly. Yeah, ice arrows are only necessary for, like, one or two things. You use them for that the ladder that's covered by water and the Octorok freeze. That's like it. So they're still, unfortunately, still necessary, but they're almost skippable, but not quite. If they were skippable, it would be nice, though, because then we wouldn't have to fight Wart.
Real quick, I want to welcome in the last 2 raids that we've got. We've got Silith and World of ZZT who have just joined us. Thank you so much for hopping in. We are closing in on $13,000 here, so please get those donations in, friends. We are raising money for Trans Lifeline this weekend. We have some sweet incentives open. DK Bonanza we're trying to get unlocked. Also Death Mode for Tetris TGM. So yeah, sit, get cozy, watch some Zelda with us, and throw some rupees my way.
Now it's time for the boss, and the boss, in comparison to the rest of the dungeon, maybe not as crazy, but there's still some cool strats for it. This is George. My name, I don't know, we've all called him George for a long time ago. At least I have. I don't know if everyone does. But normally you have to stun him over and over in the water and then like jump down and damage him with Magic Barrier. What Breagle's going to attempt to do here is a stun lock, where he gets George, running into the wall. And as he's running into the wall, he gets himself stuck in Georg's model, so he can just keep stunning him and damaging him over and over repeatedly. Then the phase 2 starts up, where he just spits out these extra fish here. You just need to get back on the platform before you get eaten. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Because you went forward.
I pressed A little bit too early.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of
On
the
English,
cutscene.
you can get away with that. On Japanese, unfortunately, Zora swimming's a little bit different. And it gets, doesn't matter that much. Georg does do a scary amount of damage, though. It does 2 hearts when he eats you, so. But. There you go.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, you almost stunned him out of the air there, which I think would have actually been bad. Okay, it's okay. We got the lineup. We got the lineup. Round 2. Okay. We're chilling.
Okay, focus. It's pretty tricky with Zorafins because you have to like do it before he starts charging at you. You can't really react to him charging, or it'll be too late.
Old strats used to just use hookshot or bow because they're a lot more instant. Zorafins are a lot faster if you can get it instantly, but you have to time it much more precisely since they're slower to move. But yeah, overall, that was a really good Great White Temple in a marathon. Like, I don't know, Breagle like deserves a round of applause for that one for sure.
Yeah, clapping, dancing in chat. I want to see it. I want to hear it. Let's go.
Yeah, easily the hardest part of the run, and honestly, the majority of the temple was executed way above average. Absolutely incredible. All the big strats were nailed.
Is this no?
Go
Oh my gosh, no, you're fine. I wanted to let you focus. Are we good to jump in with a couple donations here?
Yeah, we have another kind of, not too lengthy, but we have a cutscene here. A minute or two.
Perfect. I'll speed run them. No. we have a $1 anonymous donation that says trans rights. Thank you so much. That is going towards the Tetris Death Mode. We also have another anonymous donation for $10 that says, I don't have much as a trans person leaving Texas right now, but I didn't know about this charity event until just now. Came in with the ZSR crowd, but the serendipity of finding this charity going on by a community I wasn't aware of and identify with has really moved me. Thank you everyone who has donated so far. It helps the charity, but it also goes a long, long way to brightening the dark world I've found myself in. It's everything to know there is support out there for people like me. Well, thank you so much, Anonymous. Thank you for sharing that. We're wishing you the best, of course. And thank you for supporting Trans Lifeline. Like they said, those donations help individuals like them and so many more in the US and Canada. So please get those in. And we are less than $40 away from 13K. So let's close that out.
All right, and so with that, there's only one dungeon remaining. And most of the setup is already done, because remember, we went to Akana earlier in the run while we were setting up aliens even. So we already have Gara Mask, already have Gibdo Mask, already got Mirror Shield. Just need to do Akana Castle for the dungeon song. And a large part of Akana Castle is also going to be skipped. Because again, there's just ways around these things, even without all the glitches.
Bonk.
Okay, that's my most bonked against Door, possibly. It's unfortunate because a single Zora roll just puts you a little too far away from it. So, gonna jump slash on top of this ceiling. Normally you're supposed to hit a switch and the ceiling rises up and you can pass underneath. but Zora Jump Slash just puts you on top and you just damage boost your way across.
Yeah, just
And then this
stumbled across
room-
the spicy floor.
Yeah, Zora can just barely jump here. Normally you need to reveal invisible platforms with Lens of Truth to jump to the switch. Zora can just make it, and then Breagle just knows where they are, so he's just gonna jump on the invisible platform there. Make it across. And then the biggest skip of the castle isn't even close to a glitch. It's literally just... It's very silly, because normally, like, once you're on this side, you have to, like, hit a switch, which moves a block, and then you can use Mirror Shield, then you have to do the right side of a kind of castle, or you could just throw this keg over the wall and reach the thing you need to reach to get that on that side, and then it'll blow up the hole, and then you've skipped right side of a kind of castle entirely. Like that. And you just throw it over the wall.
Well, and with that incredible skip, I also want to say we have hit $13,000 raised for Trans Lifeline. Thank you all so much. That is an incredible milestone. And when we have a second too, I have a donation to read that helped push us over. Let me know if now is a good time.
Now is a pretty good time, yeah.
Wonderful. We had $50 come in from Knacky Fur towards that bonus game, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and they say, "Hey Bree, good luck and good." Oh, sorry. Let's run this back. Good fun and have luck. I was so excited to rush home this afternoon after work to watch you absolutely rock this run. Fun fact, did you know Carrie Shale holds the Guinness World Record for voicing 32 characters in Dog's Life? Anyway, I love that. Anyway, whether it is a delightful Kusoge race, a multi-fold rando, or just the random parallel play, it's always wonderful to hang out with you in VC. On that note, go fast, make Moon gay, and Flendu frogs!
Thanks, Namki. Especially for the Dog's Life fact.
Thank you, Knacky, and thank you for getting us over 13K. We are closing in ever closer on the DK Bonanza run, as well as the Tetris Death Mode. We wanna unlock those as quickly as possible. So keep pushing for that, chat. I know we can do it.
This is another boss fight where you really get to leverage power crouch stab with Deku Jump Slash. Again, doing quadruple the damage. A little scary there with your...
It was a little sketchy, I didn't like that.
Well, why you keep cutting these so close? It's okay, worked out. Managed to get that. This will get you the song, and then it's just the Climbing Stone Tower in the final dungeon of the game. And again, funnily enough, there's like a weird, well, it's for some reason all the enemies in this boss fight are also weak to Deku bubbles. It's like this weird thing. It's like another Japanese English difference where like Deku bubbles just do double damage to all the enemies in this fight. So on the English version where you don't have power crouch stab, that's the best way to fight them without any sword upgrades. And yeah, what is your in-game time? Do you have enough to climb Stone Tower before the transition happens here?
It will happen in Stone Tower. So I'm going to have to, like... I don't think it's faster to double time in here, is it? It's not. Ah, maybe it is.
I don't think it is. It depends how it would line up. You could do it. I'm really curious what your in-game time is, actually. I wasn't paying attention during the fight, because, yeah, normally you don't want it to quite be there yet, but there was a few things. I think it's going to be close to fine.
It's definitely not, like, close enough to 6 to just wait. I'm going to have to go.
Alright. Oh, no, you died again.
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
Just died at the feet of the bend round. Very conveniently placed, because it would be, like, it would take a little bit longer to die if you weren't there.
Yeah, in-game time, a little too late, probably, to make it up before the day transition.
Yeah, I'll make it across the first 3 blocks, and then it should transition right there, and that would be okay.
It's a little spooky, even for the first couple. Probably can, it's just spooky. It depends on your hookshot aiming. Like, if you wanted to be safe, I would Song a double time now, because, like, with 15 minutes, if you don't hookshot instantly, it's not going to work out.
I did not mean to go on, but yeah.
Yeah, the big issue we're facing here is that with in-game time the way it is, like this whole tower climb is based upon hitting these switches which move the blocks, and like the switches, you need to play the song we just got to leave a statue on them, or else the block will go back, right? They're not switches that stay down unless you put something on them, and we have the elegy now, which leaves statues that we can leave behind. But if a day transition occurs, it actually deletes all your existing statues. So if you're in the middle of leaving statues and that day transition occurs, we'd have to start over. So just to be safe, he played Song a double time to force the day transition. And then that way it's no longer something that needs to be worried about, that the statue is going to get deleted.
Oh, ouch, man. That was unfortunate.
You're burning, you're losing a lot of damage.
Yeah, I can take one shot, but I can't take any shots from the B-boss. This is sketchy.
Oh no, that's a little sketchy. Unfortunately, with fire damage, if you get lit on fire, it just keeps dealing damage to you, unless you, like, move to put it out. So
I should have done that as Goron too, but I was distracted, I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just have to be very careful.
Yeah, there's a Beamos coming up, but then if it shoots him, it does 1 whole heart of damage. So he's in kill range of that Beamos you see in the background right now, and you're gonna have to go right by that. So, little spooky, little spooky. Unlike the other deaths, this would not be an intended death. No memes here.
It would lose quite a bit of time, actually.
Yeah, because you have to start the climb from the beginning.
Okay. I'm waiting for it to turn, like, there.
Yeah, so it's not facing at him directly as soon as he lands, gives him time to get in motion. Because as long as you're in motion, it shouldn't hit. And then you can get behind the hookshot pillar here, and if he makes it behind the hookshot pillar, he's safe, but we have this cutscene to add suspense. And then...
No!
I just barely sniped him from around the corner!
He did what I did to Goat.
You can't see me, I, like, jumped when that happened.
Okay, that was about a minute. 2 minutes,
yeah.
maybe.
It's okay. A little time loss. At least you weren't at the top of the tower. I've fallen from the top of the tower before. It is not the end of the world that happened, but a little unfortunate. It at least gives us time to actually explain what's happening here. Normally, in order to climb Stone Tower, you're supposed to hit a series of 3 switches using a human statue, a Goron statue, and a Zora statue. Because with this song, if you keep changing forms, you can leave multiple statues, 1 for each form at a time. So you're supposed to make bridges of 3 platforms, like 3 times, in order to climb Stone Tower and reach the temple. But actually, none of the 3 times we're gonna make the bridge of 3. On this first one, we're just making a bridge of 2, and then they just left a hookshot platform in range of the second one. That's what they did. To skip making the 3rd one, and that saves a little bit of time. And then on the second bridge that you're supposed to make, we're also going to skip that, and you'll get to see that as well. There's just, at no point are we ever properly making the bridge of 3 here. It's not necessary. So bridge of 2, just hookshot to the pillar. It's not even precise. They just, I don't know if they didn't see that. You don't need the 3rd switch. And this one, we're actually not even going to need 3 statues. We're not even going to need 2 statues. Like, we're only actually going to need 1 statue here for this climb. For this particular set of switches, rather. So he's going to leave the statue on that one, which begins a block trying to move. Hookshot up here, and he's going to get shot out of the air by the Beamos. This guy is a menace. He's going to step on this switch, which moves this one, because this one was in the way, so that this one can move. And then he's just going to step off, because now that he freed the other one, that one can go back. That one just needed to move so that it could free the one he wanted to move. Then he's going to get behind this, not get shot by the Beamos. And then jump onto here, and what he's going to do, he's going to play Elegy again. And you'll see what happens, because it's when you think about it, it's by playing Elegy again, you can only have one statue per form. And he used a human statue on the Switch earlier, so he's now removed it from the Switch so he can ride it back. And he just skips making the bridge and skips a huge part of the Stone Tower climb.
I think at some point after this run is over, I'm going to load up the save file again, and I'm going to go find that BMOS and throw a powder keg at him.
Do we have a few minutes for... Well, I shouldn't say a few minutes. A few moments, rather, for a donation.
Yeah, we can have a couple of donations right now.
Wonderful. So we have $5 that came in from Wendy's lover, and they said, I skipped lunch, but went out to grab a treat from my hands-down favorite fast food spot after all the fast food talk earlier, donating the cost of my bill, rounded up for charity, of course, for my Frosty, chocolate flavor, of course, the only flavor of Frosty that deserves to be a flavor. All other fast food milkshakes are trash compared to this classic. I'm gonna say, I actually agree with you on that. I've tried other Frosties. Chocolate's near and dear to my heart. I do also want to let folks know, Team Fastest Furs, all of our Twitch subscriptions and cheered bits, which I see you gifting subs down there. Thank you so much. Everything received this weekend goes to support our events now and in the future. So if you want to subscribe, if you've got your Twitch Prime Gaming sub available, we've got some sweet emotes. And if you'll take a look there, my dear subscribers, I do believe we have a new emote that's appeared. Perhaps a furry? When geese? When geese is that? I think if you are also on the chocolate frosty train, let me know. Show me in chat, because it's pretty top tier right there.
Alright.
I just had a very unfortunate experience.
Yeah. So normally there's like a cracked wall in this room, and there's a real bomb chew just like conveniently nearby, and you're supposed to have him like come over and blow up the wall for you. But he wasn't cooperating at all with Breagle there, so he had to pull out a normal bomb, and then the box blew up, and...
He didn't get his Wendy's today.
He did not. He experienced a very series of unfortunate events. Yeah, this is the last, like, elegy puzzle you really need to do in this dungeon. His health is rather low again.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's a little lower than I would like.
Yeah, I know one of the bushes up here has guaranteed health, but I forget which one.
Yeah, there's also a pot downstairs by the armors.
That might be good as well.
But this is the last time, hopefully, that I'll have the Ocarina equipped before playing Oath at the very end, so it's an optimal time to make it night 3 and get ready for the clock tower.
Yeah, so even with this entire run being done in one 3-day cycle, you still need to Song of Double Time to skip ahead, because it's just... the run is too fast that it uses... Like, while there's a lot of routing around events that happen during the 3 days, you still have too much time as far as finishing the game. Yeah, he's gonna use a Bomb Chew here. That Bomb Chew's gonna go over the sunblock there and kill a couple of Armos that are on the other side. We need to kill all these Armos so that a key chest will spawn. So that's just the quickest way, because normally, like, I mean, normally you just use Mirror Shield to remove the sunblock, so it only saves a small amount of time, but bypassing that removes the cutscene of watching the sunblock disappear, and it's also really cool. It's really cool.
Do we have another few moments here?
Sure, go ahead.
Yep.
Wonderful. So, I've got some news to share with you all. I have received word that for every additional $500 that we raise towards $15,000, another emote will unlock. So I would like to issue a challenge to you, chat. I know we can hit that, and I know you want to see what other emotes we have ready to go, and especially if you want to, cheer on your favorite fast food. We can't just have Wendy's. That's no fun. We need to sow the seeds of competition here. And to that end, Kick has donated $5, and they say Zelda's pretty neat. You know what else is neat? You and chat. That's right. So chat, please get those donations in. We want to keep hitting those milestones. Again, every $500 towards 15K that we hit is going to unlock another emote. So let's go. Let's get this going. I want to see which one is next.
Alright, and this is just in time for one of the worst rooms in the game. There are some tricks the speedrun employs to alleviate it. Basically, you have these like black bows that are constantly spawning from the corners. If you kill them, another one will always spawn. And like you also have to charge up these mirrors. So there, like what you can do is you can, at least for the initial charge, you can stand on this, which keeps you immune from like the bows attacking you. And then what he's gonna do, unfortunately it went wrong, but this time he's gonna jump and he's gonna drop a bomb as he jumps, hoping that like the bomb kills them behind him. Then it gives him time to charge up the next mirror, but his angle's off. It's so tricky. It's one of the worst rooms in the game. Like, I'm sure a lot of casual players really dislike this room as well, because it's so hard to get enough time to do everything. And even with the tricks we have, it can be tricky to like find the time and clear out the bows in time. And like as soon as like you mess it up the first time too, the bow cycle is off, their positions aren't what you would expect. Like, it's really obnoxious. He's gonna jump, bomb drop.
Oh man.
It's a struggle. This is how this room can just go sometimes.
Hey, thank you. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm gonna unpause in 3, 2, 1, go. And back to like this pain. I had a nice little break from this.
Yeah, back to this room.
Yeah. Even the internet didn't want to see it. Yeah, this looks promising though.
I gave you plenty of time to collect your thoughts.
That, I do not know why that didn't work. I must have just been slightly off.
I had it. I think you were like slightly off the center of the sun block.
Maybe... Nah, okay. This has happened to me in PB-based runs too. It's just very unfortunate, but...
Outside of Great Bay Temple, this room has been a killer of runs for me as well. It definitely happens to you. Everyone, honestly.
That bow dying unfortunately pushed me like out of the light beam.
Oh, this is exactly why the bombs are so important in this room. Like, if they don't kill all the bows, they hit you, they can cause you to turn, they can damage you and just like cancel your shield briefly, like, because like you're shielding obviously in the opposite direction that they are.
Ah, finally. Okay, easy.
Let's
First
go.
try.
First try. That's a first try if I've ever seen one.
Okay, I'm gonna need to grab the hearts outside of Garamaster's room.
Yeah, because you're gonna be at 1 heart, which is like a little suboptimal. Ideally, he was gonna be at 1.5 hearts going into this fight, but flat 1 doesn't really work out for like what's going on there. So at that point, it's probably not what's gonna happen. Plus, Garamaster does 1 whole heart of damage, so that would be a little not ideal.
Okay, we're gonna soar out of here, I think.
Yeah, because you got full out. No, that's fine. That's totally fine. So unlike Ocarina of Time, ice arrows are actually somewhat useful in this game. For a couple of fights at the end of the run, even. On Garrow Master, ice arrows actually have the nice property of both doing damage and stunning Garrow Master at the same time. So the ice arrow does 4 damage and allows for an additional damage follow-up, which is absolutely insane and allows Garrow Master to be killed in 2 cycles like that. Very, very nice. Whereas a lot of runs that do not have ice arrows cannot 2-cycle Garrow Master. It often ends up being 4 cycles, like a fire arrow strat in like an any percent run, for instance, like an any percent NMG. So Glitchless actually has the much faster Garrow Master fight in that regard, just because of ice arrows. I'm gonna pick up light arrows and soar out.
Ideally, you death warp, but I picked up one too many. Well, like 3 too many hearts.
Yeah. And the health wasn't lined up after the mirror shield room, I think, is what caused your health to not necessarily be lined up as it needed to be. Because normally you enter Garrow Master room with 1.5 hearts, and then you take 1 hit, which does 1 heart, and then you can do a death warp out with a bomb.
Unfortunately, spent so long in the mirror room that while I have Ocarina equipped anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just invert time so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, we'll give you plenty of time for the rest of the run for sure.
I wouldn't normally grab a fairy here, but for marathon safety, I think it's a very good idea. Dying to Majora is the last thing I need right now.
Yeah, it's like a pretty small time loss. There's like no need to risk it, I think, at this point. You get to pick up some extra resources here. Can hookshot back across, which is very, very nice. Oh man, you're gonna do the strat. Alright, so this is a cool strat. He lined up on a very specific point on the wall, and he's doing a setup to just barely get in front of the switch, and now he needs to aim at the exact right angle. And get on the switch while it's in air. And if done correctly, you can strike it by moving the block out of the way.
Like that.
Nice. And invert the temple without having to play Elegy. So all that's left is Inverted Stone Tower Temple. And Inverted Stone Tower Temple, believe it or not, running theme is despite no glitches, there are still nice skips that can be done in this dungeon. And actually, Inverted Stone Tower Temple is pretty infamous for having a bunch of like kind of really slow block pushing puzzle rooms. Like it has one that's like really egregious in particular. And we're not going to see it despite it being a glitchless speedrun. It could just be completely bypassed. Lots of magic needed though, so gonna pick up some magic, head over. I believe you end up draining your magic completely before you get another drop. So like no, you have a little bit extra actually. Maybe it's one shot.
Yeah, I'll be able to miss Igor once.
Mm-hmm. You got 1 extra try on Igor. That's right. Alright, so he gets to do a jump slash recoil up the vent like that, and then he's gonna head down the corridor. And you can actually just do a little side hop here.
And miss.
Oh no! Oh, I see what happened. You like jump slash slightly early, and you went over a bit of the land there and fell into the void behind it. Oh.
Yeah.
Like everything, the universe was conspiring against you on that one. We don't count that.
There we go. And I didn't break my stick, which is very good, because that would have been very sad.
Very nice. So he's both stored a Deku Stick jump slash, and now he's going to be shooting Igor from down here, because Igor actually gets triggered to move while you're down here, and if you can land the shots, then what would happen there is you can spawn the chest ahead of time, but unfortunately you do need 4 light arrows in order to do that, so it takes a lot of your magic. So if you don't get if you don't get every single shot, then what ends up happening is you have to leave, but it's fine because you can just come back after the fight and try again. And
yeah, second try is not bad still.
Yeah. So you're going to do the Gomez fight first, refill magic afterwards, and try that same strat again. So we'll still have a chance to see it. Gomez is a scary fight, especially because Gomez's scythe does 2 hearts of damage, which is very spooky, but it's going to do double hits as well. Once the bats like go far enough away from Gomez, what can end up happening is they take a second to get back, so like you can stab, roll, and stab again before they get back and get 2 hits in per stun. Did not die, which is very good.
Yeah, that helps.
Entering that fight... Oh, you have the fairy, though. You do have the fairy, but yeah, you losing it here would be sad. You'd like to have it towards the end, probably on the Majora fight. You can maybe kill one of the bubbles with something other than light arrows for a guaranteed heart drop.
I'll take both of them. Just get a full refill. We're playing safety now.
Alright, another attempt at early Igor.
Nice.
Very
The second
clean,
try
very
is
clean.
perfectly valid. It doesn't lose that much time over first try. Third try is pretty hairy though, so thankfully we didn't get to that point.
Alright, and that, like, by doing that from down here, that allows you to do a very precise hookshot up to the corner of the chest that spawns, that just barely gets you up there, and again, skips having to go around and open the key door and all that. So it's very nice if you can do early Igor for skipping, again, the majority of Inverted Stone Tower Temple, and you can just jet right to the end. You're going to notice as well that Briegel did not pick up Giant's Mask in that chest. Giant's Mask is probably the intended way to kill Twin Mold for most people, but it's not the only way. And the thing is, Giant's Mask utilizes whatever sword you have, and we still have base sword, so it's really not a great way of approaching the Twin Mold fight at this point in a glitchless run. So rather than using our base sword, and Giant can't even use sticks or anything, although you could store the damage beforehand and use crouch stabs. Like, Giant's Mask with power crouch stab is not that bad. That's probably the best way you could do a Giant's Mask fight. But there's something even better, and it takes quite a lot of practice to be able to do consistently well, and that's an arrow fight. The Twin Mold fight is nice in that they have weaknesses. They have like Pokemon weaknesses almost. The red Twin Mold is weak to the ice arrows, and the blue Twin Mold is weak to the fire arrows. They both take extra damage from the opposite colored arrow. So normally elemental arrows do 4 damage, but against each Twin Mold, if you use the proper arrow, it's 6. And they have 20 health, so it only takes 4 arrows. Or, in the case of Blue Twin Mold, if you do the bomb strat like Briegel did at the start, then you end up doing 2 damage with the bomb, and then your arrows are all doing 6, which ends up lining up perfectly at 20 damage. That bomb strat is really, really nice at the start of the fight, because during the cutscene, the Twin Molds always spawn and move in the same way. So you can actually guarantee that that bomb hits by doing the correct movement. So that's something very nice that Briegel abused.
A little bit
Do we
low
have
on
an-
magic, but that's okay.
After this
There-
fight, do we have an opportunity to jump in with some donations?
Oh,
There will
absolutely.
be a decent length cutscene right after this fight, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, you do have enough magic potentially, because I think you had at least 3 to 4 ice arrows at the beginning there. Gotta get the snipes.
I am shocked that didn't hit.
Yeah, came in like just barely early. Because he ran out of magic, it does require even more hits, which is unfortunate because the magic arrows are really the ones you want to hit. But Not too many, because I think he hit 2, so he only needs 3 extra arrow hits. And he's getting a couple here.
There we go.
Very nice. Let's go.
Little
Twinmold not
scuff.
cooperating with you today, but... And yeah, the Giant's Mask also requires magic. And like, a big thing about Giant's Mask fight with Twinmold in a speedrun is you can, in the Japanese version, use Deku Stick Power Crouch Tab. And the goal with a Giant's Mask fight in a speedrun is you want to get, like, Twinmold to just, like, ram into your shield over and over and over again, and just crouch stab him as he's doing that. And it's kind of dependent on luck, whereas the arrow fight is, you know, luck-based too, because of where they spawn and how they move. But it's still, like, you know, despite what pattern you get, can you aim, basically, is at the end of the day, always the question. Also, fun fact with Giant's Mask, it doesn't actually make Link bigger. Instead of making Link bigger, it changes the camera angle, teleports you to a smaller arena that's very, very, very high up in the air on that arena, and makes you fight smaller Twinmolds. Link is actually normal size the whole time. My favorite little fun fact.
I love that. Amazing.
Yeah, this is a cutscene if you,
Wonderful. Yeah, we have a couple donations that have come in. We have $5 from Tigbun, who says, not the biggest fan of coffee, but you've got to appreciate the bits from Tim Horstens. Thank you so much, Tigbun, for that. I love that. I'm gonna use that. And incredibly, we have $10 from Ka, also loving on the Canadian fast food here, saying, shout out to the Canadian fast food joint Fast Eddie's. I love the pickle fries, the banana cream milkshake, and also hi Reddick. Hi Reddick. And we have $20 from Rudy the Wolf, who says, who's beaten dungeons before day 3? The cheat! The cheat! Who's setting all the giants free? The cheat! The cheat! Who's raking in 1,000,000 rupees? The cheat! The cheat! Who's got another new PB? The cheat! The cheat! Thank you so much, Rudy, and to Ka and Tigbun as well. With that, we are over halfway to meeting that Tetris incentive. I'd really like to close that out before this run ends. We do have technically until the Tetris run ends, but why wait that long? We're speedrunners. We want to get it done sooner rather than later, so please keep those coming in. And also, please check out the emotes. We still have 2 left to unlock, but we did just unlock a couple with our most recent donations, so give those some love as well.
Alright, and Briegel has beaten all 4 dungeons, saved all the giants, and the in-game clock, ideally, it's perfect right now. You always want it to be after you beat that final dungeon already past midnight. That way you can just go straight to the clock tower and initiate, like, the final sequence here. You don't ever want to have to wait on this door. So this was, like, the last little bit of in-game time that was being managed. And thankfully, because of Mirror Room in a Stone
Yeah, very well managed.
It took, it really helped us out there, making sure the clock tower door was open. Mirror Room is just helpful like that. At the end of the day, we can only thank it.
Yeah, the game knows what you need. But we only have like a fairly lengthy cutscene here and then the final boss, and that's it.
Amazing. Can I jump in during this cutscene with another donation?
Please do. It's a long cutscene.
Wonderful. See, we can chit chat. But first, we have $9 from Bursic, who says, "Let's go, Arfbees." Arfbees has the meats. I love that. Thank you so much, Bursic, for that $9. Also going towards the Tetris incentive. Like I said, over halfway there. Please get those in. And again, I'm loving this fast food stuff, and I love puns. We love puns here at Fastest Furs. So again, peep those new emotes. Send me more puns. Like they said, we've got a long cutscene here, so I've got time. I've got time to read these donations.
We get to see the version of the cutscene where the giants actually succeed. Although, fun fact, actually, the version of the cutscene we're watching is on a Wii Virtual Console, as the Wii Virtual Console is the fastest well, it's no longer the fastest version, the Switch is, but the Switch version is unfortunately bad to run on for other reasons. But we're doing this run on the Wii Virtual Console, Majora's Mask, and this cutscene actually runs too fast. because it normally lags a lot, and this song that's playing right now for this cutscene was written for the length of the cutscene, and so it accounts for the lag. And so because the Wii version of this cutscene runs faster, the full version of the song never plays. It's very unfortunate. And what's really fun is like 15 years later, on the Switch version also runs faster, but it has they added in a little what is it, kind of like some kind of code that intentionally lags the game. The Switch version intentionally lags the game just to get it to sync properly.
If we're still going on the cutscene, I've got another donation to throw in here.
Go for it.
We have $20 from Queenie towards that Tetris incentive, and they say, "Way to go, Bree. After some of the Kusoge races we've done, I knew you could do anything. Cough, cough, rain of fire." Thank you so much, Queenie, for that.
Yeah, we had the bright idea to blind race some random games. Only games that had like a 4 out of 10 or lower rating. And it's been an experience. I wouldn't recommend some of it.
No, that sounds all the better, honestly.
I mean, Rain of Fire was terrible. Mary-Kate and Ashley's Magical Mystery Mall was a delight.
Just from the name alone, I'm intrigued and already delighted, honestly.
Unfortunately, these are very long cutscenes. We're nearing the end of them now, but
yeah.
Oh, you're good. Well, we saw in chat we have someone asking who is running this channel. So let me let you know. This is Team Fastest Furs. We're a community of furry speedrunners that is welcoming and open to all, and you don't even have to be a furry to participate in our events. We currently host 2 charity speedrun marathons per year. This happens to be one of them. In the spring and the fall, this is Fall Fest 2025, and we provide other opportunities throughout the year for our community members to get involved and showcase their speedruns. So whether you are an active speedrunner, or if you're just someone who's curious about the hobby or about charity events, you can join us in our Discord. You can use the command !Discord in chat for that.
So maybe check out the clothing store. I had a quick look. I thought, maybe I'll buy a t-shirt this year. And then I looked at the website and I was like, I guess I can buy 3 t-shirts.
It's incredible. There's 5 of them. There are 5 new ones this year. That's Timberwolf Trading, by the way. Those are only available till the end of the marathon. So that's you have today to get those. They're incredible. A portion of each of those sales does go towards Trans Lifeline. Worldwide shipping is available, so wherever you're based, you can grab those. !merch in the chat, or the website directly is timberwolftrading.ca/pages/fastestfurs. I also bought a shirt.
Nice.
That's actually perfect because we just made it to the end of the cutscene. So we're at the moon. Gonna go talk to Majora Kid. There's a lot of optional dungeons on the moon, but you're not gonna see those outside of a 100% speed run. But yeah, it's just the Majora fight now, and there's 3 distinct phases to the Majora fight. It is a quite active fight with a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces, and we're gonna see how it goes, because there's a lot of variability in things that could happen. And also, okay, you did pick up arrows. I was gonna say your arrows, you could do it with 6, but you better not miss any. I think like, what's the lowest you'd do it with? Like 5 arrows, maybe? But yeah, for the mask phase, you're gonna see Breagle using the Zora mask to stun, primarily. Just because the fins get around to the back of mask and actually attack the vulnerable backside. There's also an arrow strat.
I was going for the arrow strat, but I paused in the wrong frame. It's frame perfect, unfortunately.
I wasn't even sure you were gonna do that. It was crazy. I respect it. But yeah, after that strat, the primary strat is you get the Zora fins for the guaranteed since they get behind. And then what you can do is you can chain a bomb as he's getting up, and if you throw it properly, it'll just be high enough to restun him. And then you can like chain arrows together like that. And it's just gonna be that again going into phase 2. Like but it does introduce like the problem with the remains floating around the room. And like the way the remains work is unless they actually will try to shoot you only if they're loaded, and they're only loaded if they're either really close to Link or you're looking at them, like they're on camera. They actually really can't snipe you from off screen. So there's like a lot of camera manipulation that can be done throughout the next phases where they're still going to be floating around. Where if they're not on camera, they're not a problem. So there's a lot of benefit to like Wrath being near a wall, for instance. So you can just look at the wall instead, and the remains are just a non-issue. As far as the Incarnation fight is concerned, they're actually, you saw Breagle put down a bomb in the center of the room, and it knocked down Incarnation. For some reason, Incarnation just has a duplicate hitbox in the center of the room. So if you put a bomb down there, it just always knocks him down. So you can just use that to guarantee a knockdown and do what that Breagle did there and get a lock on him. And finally, on Wrath, something notable about Wrath is Wrath likes to dodge all projectiles that aren't light arrows, but even if you're out of magic, as long as the item on the C button is light arrows, Wrath won't dodge. It doesn't actually need to be a light arrow, the C button item needs to be light arrow.
Time's coming up. Time. Sorry, that was very short notice, but...
yeah, no.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's. Very clean fight.
Oh, yeah, at least we finished strong. I feel like we may have been a little bit overestimate, but there was good parts of the run. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being here.
No, it had a lot of.
Thank you so much for being here. Yeah.
Thank you so much to everyone, all of you, for being here, for the Fastest First team, for putting on the event, for doing so well running it, for fixing the tech issues, for everyone who's watching, everyone who's donated.
Yeah. Do you have any shout-outs you want to give, Bree?
I will try not to forget anyone, but I would like to shout out, I did Fastest Fours already. My best friend Giggles, who got me into Randomizer, which got me into speedrunning. Matt the Link, also one of my best friends, who inspired me and helped me when I was learning the speedrun. The Uber Camper in his community, Ali, Autumn, the Multifold group, Fox, Quee, Flen, Naki, Kick, Koval, Aaron, Lycoris. The Majora's Mask speedrunning community, one of the nicest communities I've ever had the privilege of being a part of. Particularly the people who've helped me in my speedrunning journey, like Jess57329, Feely, Zunar, Beast, Mino Floof, Ban, Morpheus, Samp, Smoggy, Gyro, Ghost, Obrari, Taffel, Vertigo, Spec, some guy called Trev Person. Especially
never
Trev
heard of him.
Person.
Never
Thank
heard of him.
I know that guy. I know him.
Yeah, well, thank you for like being here and for helping, and it's been great.
Yeah, thank you, Trev. Did you have any shout-outs you wanted to give?
Nothing in particular. I don't want to.
No, you're good. Well, thank you again both so much. That was a fantastic run.
Yeah, just thanks for having me, and thanks to all of the staff here. It was a great experience. I really enjoyed it.
We do have like quite a few minutes of credit sequence here, so we don't need to sit and watch it all if we're short on time here.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, I think we can take it away to a break then.